You know what? It's not my fault I have BPD or something. It's not my fault that all this shit is happening to me. It's not my fault. You gotta pay to hear me say sorry. It's not my fault. I'm like obesity. It's not my fault that I have BPD. Let's go to therapy. Where's the babe? What's she on? How's her leg and how's her lung? Oh, she's this? Oh, she's that? She's a health risk that don't run. Oh, she's back? Oh, she's back? Girl, her back is giving up. Excuse me while I drag my mom. She's back on the same shit from before. Third time now, but it don't work anymore. 10 years on here, hasn't changed her at all. Call her out, but all you'll ever hear from her is this. It's not my fault that all this shit is happening to me. It's not my fault that all my exes always turn on me. It's not my fault. I lost my rarity. It's not my fault that I was a feedie. I'll lay on Emily. Get a girl, get your mom, get a wiper while you can. Party size, just treat. Can a gay girl get a let's eat? She's back on the same shit from before. Legos, journals, making weight loss goals. 7 partners, hasn't changed her at all. Call her out, but all you'll ever hear from her is this. It's not my fault that all this shit is happening to me. It's not my fault. They say I'm lying every time I speak. It's not my fault. My shots were lit, you can get mad at me. It's not my fault that I have BPD and CPTSD. I mean, who wouldn't want to be in love with me? Ask Casey, Crystal, Destiny. I'm a lesbian, but I get on with Dalton. Alexis lying, but I can't control her. Boobs so bad, the nurse called me pretty. But you know I need to keep my peace when a bingo. And she said I smell good. Had a breakdown, I'ma blame my childhood. It's funny how a fat girl's getting all this hate. But if you look around, I'm the one who docks shade. Covered top, black pants, wrong shoes. I was dainty back then, now I just let loose. Lipedema, lymphedema, water weight. And never paid back, so get it straight. 'Cause I woke up Saturday and I was yesterday. They call me Choosy Lynn, 'cause I always look my way. It's not my fault that all this shit is happening to me. It's not my fault. My memory is kinda like some cheese. It's not my fault. You're all obsessed with me. It's not my fault I gained all these LBs. Stop diagnosing me. I woke up Saturday and I was yesterday. They call me Choosy Lynn, 'cause I always get my way. I woke up Saturday and I was yesterday. It's not my fault that I have BPD. Let's go to therapy.
Baby girl, I'm in med school. I work full time. I have a degree. I have a whole ass beautiful man by my side. I have a family that loves me. We all take care of each other. We love each other. My skin is clear. My makeup is flawless. I am living my best life.
Hello. Hello.
Tongues are so weird when you think about it. My hair is growing. I smell like coconut oil. I am living my best life. And now, I will go further. I will go beyond the superficial, beyond what the eye can see. I am an educated woman. I am an educated immigrant woman who has came here with no language, who is now speaking 2 languages fluently, who has a career, who has ambitions and goals in life.
Oh no, she went to a Chinese buffet. Oh shit.
Regardless of the coinage that I make on YouTube of your name, I have a successful life.
Okay, hello, everybody. Everybody press 7 in the fucking chat, please. Thank you very much. And hit the like button. Biscuits Now, thank you for rejoining for 14 months in a row. Rip Victoria, yeah. Rip Victoria. Sorry to say it. Hi Lion Eyes, hi Valkyrie 420, hi Kathy Chapman, hi FDR Devotee, hi Vonnie B, hi Biscuits Now, hi Kathy Chapman, hi Vonnie B, hi Lion Eyes, hi Bad Wolf. Excuse me. How are y'all doing tonight? I changed a car battery. Congratulations. I have to do that soon myself. And I have to buy a new tire, and I lost my fucking PayPal. So that's the first thing that we have to talk about. Hi, Andrea. How you doing? So, hi, Gary Cool Boobs. Hi, on Kick. How are you doing? All right. So first thing I have to talk about is the fact that I lost my PayPal account. I don't know why exactly, and I don't know who, and we'll get into that here in just a minute. I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't freaking out a little bit, because this is basically how I get international payments, and I get mostly international payments. So, I'm hoping I can get it back. I've been talking to PayPal. I don't know. It doesn't sound good that it doesn't sound like I'm going to get it back, and what this means, I don't fucking know, to be perfectly honest. Like I said, I'm trying to be optimistic about it, but I'm also not very optimistic about it at all. So anyway, first and foremost, my PayPal is gone. So all I can get, first of all, I do still have super chats and everything. So I'm still monetized on here and everything, but I can only get super chats and memberships, of course. So click the join button, become a member. Feel free to hit up the super chats. It really helps out at this current moment because, like I said, I'm unsure of what the hell I'm going to do. Now, as to why, I find the timing to be extremely suspicious. Well, actually, before that, I do have one other method, and I am going to start pushing this a little bit more going forward, is I have Monero, okay? And it's a private cryptocurrency. And I know you all love cryptocurrencies, right? But the fact is, I can't have problems when I'm using a private cryptocurrency. I can't have problems like this. So that's why I'm going with this. Now, I am not telling any of you to invest in crypto. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you have Bitcoin, Monero, Litecoin, USD coin, or Bitcoin Cash, feel free to share the wealth. If you already are investing in Bitcoin, then feel free to use that to tip to me, because that's just kind of where we're at right now. I figured out Monero and I didn't know shit about crypto. Well, in general, I think it's still a lot of people haven't figured out Monero yet. Oh shit, Biscuits Now, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I think most people haven't really figured out Monero to this point, but thankfully they already have it on here where I can take Bitcoin, and then what it does is it converts it over. And I did upload a custom alert. So I got with the XMR chat people, and I did end up getting like a custom alert sound set up and like signal alerts to my phone. Just in general, like I'm probably going to start leaning more into this in the future because it's decentralized. It's exactly what I should be promoting anyway. And maybe it's a good thing that my PayPal is gone. Like I said, I'm trying to look on the bright side of this whole thing, but frankly, I'm fucking pissed about it. Valkyrie 420, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really do appreciate it. Frankly, I'm fucking pissed about this whole thing. And like I said, I'm going to be pushing crypto. If you have a problem with it, I really don't fucking care. If I'm being totally honest. At this fucking point, given everything that's going on, I really don't fucking care if you have a problem with it, okay? If you don't understand how cryptocurrencies work, that's not my fault, okay? The super chats are still open to you normie paper money people, okay? With all of that being said, I find it very suspicious that this just happened yesterday when all of this other shit is going on with Hussey suing Azria. She's trying to sue Fresh Garbage, calling the police on her. All this crazy shit's going on. And I can't help but wonder, I haven't really been streaming on my other channel, so I don't really know who would be accusing me of unfair business practices with my PayPal when I haven't even been doing anything over there. The only fucking issues that I've been having is with certain people constantly spreading a narrative about me, constantly saying that I'm caping for Carrie. I'm caping for Hussey. I'm talking to them behind the scenes. I'm not, by the way. I haven't spoken to either of those people in at least 2 months. So I don't see why this is fucking happening to me, to be perfectly honest. Deanne Rose, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. I really do appreciate it. If you got gifted a membership by Deanne Rose, say thank you or I'm banning your ass. Fucking rude. Say thank you. But thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. So all of this shit's going on, and then, you know, here's the thing. Hecate, of course, decided she wanted to make this about herself and say that I was blaming her. Now, we can read the message. After 11 years of doing business with PayPal, I was mysteriously banned for unfair business practices. One of the 5 actionables, by the way. And all of my funds are being held for 4 months. I'm guessing that this is what I deserve for caping for 2 people that I haven't spoken to at least 2 months, to have my income taken away. Thankfully, I keep my options open and I'll learn more. I'll lean more into crypto. I'll have to learn more. Oh, man. That's a typo. I'll have to lean more into crypto. So if you want to help me out, I have my XMR chat, and I plan to promote it a lot more going forward. So anyway, Hecate seems to think that somewhere in all of this that her name is in here. Okay? Now, I want to be clear about this again. I just said this, but I'm going to be clear about it again. I don't know who reported me, but I do know that the only problem, the only person that's been talking about me repeatedly for the past 2 months straight has been Hecate. I didn't say that you reported me, but it is not lost on me that all of this is happening at the same time that you're going IRL with other people. Okay? But I don't think you did this, just to be clear. I don't think that you personally did this. I think that this is what happens when you go around spreading narratives like this. Deanne Rose, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really appreciate it. Show exactly what you got from PayPal. First of all, I don't have to show you a goddamn thing. Show exactly what you got from PayPal before you insinuate that it was me. How the hell would I mess up your PayPal? Okay. I didn't say it was you. You're not the only person accusing me of caping for Carrie. Jessica Meska's also accusing me, and everybody in your fucking chat is accusing me of caping for Carrie and Hussey. When I haven't spoken to them, I'm not fucking friends with these fucking people. I did not insinuate it was you. And as far as show exactly what you got from PayPal, this This is exactly what I got from PayPal. I got an email with this. I logged into my PayPal account and it says you have a notification, and I go to it and it says this exact same thing. This is what I got from PayPal. I am showing you everything. You know exactly what you're doing by putting the word caping, because I use that word all the time. Yeah, Azria, show your AdSense. Show us why you're how many years are you going to keep that video up to make sure every penny goes to charity? I mean, you can keep this going on for years. Okay, Azria, you don't own the word caping, and you're not the only person who uses the word or the term caping. And I don't know why you're pretending like you knew what the term caping meant a year ago. Okay? You just started using that recently because you heard somebody else using that word. So, again, I use the word caping because that's the word you keep using because you found your new vocabulary word and you keep using it. Okay? But you're using it. All of your viewers are using it against me. Now a certain person is on her channel saying that it's me. Are you talking about a certain person that you're calling and harassing every day? Is that the person you're talking about, Fresh Garbage? That you're calling up and harassing her? Listen, I don't like Fresh Garbage. I think she makes shit content. But if you think calling her up, harassing her, threatening to call the police on her, sending her these insane emails, if you think that's not going IRL, I don't know what you think you're doing. Show what you got from PayPal and stop being a dishonest prick. Again, this is what I got from PayPal. Oh, I sent you money one time and you sent it back. Well, thank you, Azria, because you ended up doing exactly what I wanted you to do, which was to post the receipt that when you loaned me that $50 and you asked for it back, I refunded it immediately. And the fact of the matter is you've been dishonest about this. You initially asked me, you wrote in a comment, you wrote in a damn comment on your community tab, refund me the money, and I immediately refunded the money to you. Now, what did you do right after that? You blocked me, you deleted the comments, and then you made a community post that said, you can keep the $50. So that you could look like, oh, well, I don't give a fuck, it's just $50, but you sure as hell wanted it back, and you sure as hell deleted those comments with the swiftness. The swiftness, as soon as I refunded it back to you. Frankly, I don't care at this point, Azria. I don't know why you're fucking bringing this up, but thank you for showing that I did refund it back to you, so I know that you're not just going around misleading people. If you were engaging in unfair practices, that's on you. Well, frankly, I don't know what the fuck you people are accusing me of, but, you know, let's think about it for just a minute real quick. Who is going around here brigading and telling people, hey, report this person to harm them financially? Anyone want to guess? Anyone want to guess who's out here reporting people so that they lose money? Report Hussey's GoFundMe here. So, Azria, am I didn't accuse you, but am I in the ballpark here? Because if y'all are out here doing this shit to Hussey, and you think that I'm defending Hussey, someone that I have not talked to in 4 months because of you, Because of you, I'm not friends with Hussy anymore. And I don't want to be friends with Hussy. I see how he is now. But because of you, I am not friends with Hussy anymore. I haven't spoken to the asshole in 4 months. And you guys are running around saying I'm caping for Hussy. Meanwhile, you're reporting his GoFundMe. Why the fuck do you think it's some stretch of the imagination that it's not coming from one of you people? Fucking psychos, I swear to God. But yeah, keep raging about it. And by the way, Hecate, stop tagging me in shit when I can't respond because you have blocked me. Dumbass. Speaking of blockings, I forgot about this, but I still had Fresh Garbage blocked. And it's not that I have gained some awareness that I don't think look, I'm going to be honest, Fresh Garbage, your content still kind of sucks. It could improve. But my biggest gripe with Fresh Garbage when we left off on that situation was the fact that I was mad that she was dismissing Keldoge multiple times. She did. I was mad that she was treating Keldoge badly. Since then, the two of them have made up, and I've said, you know what? You're going through a lot right now. Let me just give you some grace for the moment, okay? So I went ahead and unblocked Fresh Garbage. But I made a meme for her a couple of weeks ago, and this is for everybody, really. I made her a Simpsons meme. Stop fucking platforming Anja. Stop bringing her up on panel. Stop fighting with her. I'm going to try to explain this to everybody one more time. I did an entire stream discussing Anja, okay? And how there is more than enough evidence to show you that Anja sent pictures of her kids to Cyrax. And then immediately after, March 30th, 2024. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Is this the wrong one? March 5th, 2024. Cyrax searched on his Google search, what's the legal age of sexual consent in Norway? Okay. So if you need some reference point, you don't need to ask Anja about this. You don't need to have her up on panel to ask her about this. You don't need to have the same argument that everyone's had with her 1.5 billion times. Here's a stream. Just watch it. There, get educated, okay? Stop bringing her up on fucking panels, because all I hear is everybody bringing her up on panel and then complaining about the same thing. You're annoying, whatever. Like, just stop it. Stop engaging with her, okay? She thrives on attention. She will disappear without it, okay? Hi, Joey's cat. How are you doing? Also, hi, Voiceless. So anyway, there's my PSA again for Anja, who people just can't seem to resist it. I don't understand. Hey, Jane, how are you doing? Hey, Cammy. All right, so are you guys ready to get into our main event tonight? Okay, if you are, hit the like button, okay? So, press 1 if you are familiar with Rachel. And press 2 if you're like, I have no idea, okay? And listen, I wouldn't be surprised if you have no idea. We've been slopping around with the gutter sluts here. I'm sorry you lost your PayPal. That sucks. I'm happy to catch this live. I'm glad to have you here, Joey. We've been slopping around with these gutter sluts lately, and, you know, that's what we get, is we get out of the loop, okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm out of the loop on this one, and I'm more than likely going to get everything wrong here. We're going to just try to investigate a little bit. But I've been looking into this. It seems pretty straightforward. So Rachel is a Amberlyn Reed reactor primarily. Um, and the best way to explain it is that she does this whole thing like, I'm a philosophy student and like whatever. I think she's Aussie actually. But I think I was just doing a British accent there. It doesn't matter. But she does this whole holier than thou, my farts don't stink kind of video. And she presents herself in a way that I think she tries to pass herself off as a lot more professional than she actually is. 54K subscribers. Her videos are doing pretty damn well. And you'll even see that the video in question that we're talking about here got her 3.6 thousand pounds. She's British, so yes, she is British, apparently. Her accent sounds very UK. Okay, my bad. I listen, I have trouble telling the difference. Usually the way I determine it is like, if I can understand what they're saying, I figure it's Australian. And if I can't understand what they're saying, I figure it's British. That's about what the English are the worst at speaking English. Go figure. But anyway. So everything seems to have started. So basically what has happened here is that Rachel has decided to touch the poo, sniff the bucket, or in this case, sniff the washcloth, okay? We all know the Amberlyn washcloth story, right? Press 1 if we know the washcloth thing. I don't want to repeat it, to be honest, but I'm just using this as a euphemism for poo touching. She got a little bit too involved. And I think what's bothering me about this story is that it's not as interesting as I want it to be. And maybe that's because I've become a little bit numb to all of this, given all of the IRL shit that's been going on. But like the reality here is she's absolutely engaging in poo touching, and I feel like everyone wants to act surprised about it. And like, I'm very much upset because I feel like some of the points that she's making are very valid, and I feel like a lot of the shit that she's done is fucking ridiculous, but I also feel like, why is anybody surprised? When you create a community out of the basis of hate this way, what do you expect to happen? Okay? That's kind of where my headspace is at with all of this. So apparently all of this started when, let's see, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, she makes this post. Now, press 1 if you know who Emily is. Now, Emily is Amberlyn Reed's most recent ex, okay? They broke up, although some people say they haven't broken up. I don't know, I don't care. But Emily is the feeder. She was in a feeder relationship with a like 600-pound woman who died, and then she saw Amberlyn's already 500 pounds. Maybe I could finish the job. So she got into a relationship with Amberlyn. That's kind of what happened here. And for me, it's just like, listen, if Amber wants to eat herself to death, I don't really care. Like, just let her. Like, everybody is acting like Emily is a fucking serial killer without once again realizing that Amberlyn is the one who makes her choices here. Okay? Okay, that song even said it. They call me Choosy Lynn because I always get my way. So if Amberlyn wants to be with the feeder, she's going to be with the feeder. If Amberlyn wanted to be with a goddamn weight loss coach, she would be with the weight loss coach. So let's be real here. So anyway, Rachel has uploaded videos about Emily. Emily being the ex, also goes by Tommy. So you may hear both of those names used here tonight. Hi all, Emily has withdrawn consent for her voice to be used on my channel. To avoid any future issues or privacy concerns, I have privated my previous video. Many thanks for the continued support of my channel. Okay, now I have a deleted video from May. I don't think it's the same video, although I could be wrong, okay? But I do have a deleted video from May because Charlie Gold also put out a whole long video on it. We're not going to go through the whole video, but I do want to get to some kind of pertinent stuff. I want to watch this video from May, though, okay? What is this, though? Hold on. I'm exposing my own fuck up for transparency. Okay, hold on. Let's watch this video from May, okay? So Charlie Gold has a long video about it. You know, I've said how I feel about Charlie Gold. I'm not a big fan. But I will link her video because she apparently has a ton of Discord screenshots, but I'm not sure that she has anything that's not in the response video that we're going to watch. So just hang in here with me. I'm learning with all of you, okay? So this is the deleted video from May that Rachel uploaded.
So here we go. On the morning of May 25th, 2025, I received this DM. Hello there, I have some tea for you. I typed out this entire message, then thought you wouldn't care, then I think maybe she will, so I'm just going to tell you, and if you want to participate, that's fine. If not, that's okay too. Redacted section, which has very personal details inside it. Anyway, I wanted to get her, Emily, to open up and spill the dirt, so I didn't want to share because I felt no reason to, but if she went back to ALR, then this info should be out there. That's the motivation.
Okay. Like, do you already see the problem here? So we start off with she's getting a message from somebody named A. Now, I'm not even totally sure this is a real person, but let's just assume it is. She's talking to somebody named A, who's apparently already been in touch with Amberlynn Reed's ex-girlfriend, and is like, I've got all this fucking dirt. And, you know, again, why does it fucking matter if she goes back to Amberlynn or not? Like, is this just about making sure Amberlynn is single? Like, what, you know, what? Why are we doing all of this? Okay, this is a message I would probably ignore.
And reasoning that A gave me. So of course I was interested. I asked A to send me whatever they have. I thought to myself, this is probably fake, but I'll have a good look through and see if there's anything worth making a video about. I could say a lot of stories of what I went through, but so many people have already said that they hate me and don't care what I have to say. Now to that message, I will say, Emily, obviously, you know, you've had a lot of heat, including from me. I have a big video where I insult you and call you a feeder.
Okay. Now, this is from Emily. I'm pretty sure Oak is Emily. Wow, this story hits home. I would always cringe when she did something nice for me because I knew it would be held over my head or used against me. I could say a lot of stories of what I went through, but so many people have already said they hate me and don't care what I have to say. So I'm not sure what's being sent to here. Everyone treated you like something in a fiction. You're a person with valid something. Okay.
Stand by there being very, very good evidence that you are a feeder or you are into that stuff. And I think you dating Amberlynn Reed was bad. But it's not true that nobody wants to hear what you have to say or doesn't care what you have to say. I'm going to make this video.
Okay, I'm going to hard disagree. I don't give a fuck what she has to say. How about that? I don't give a fuck what she has to say. Can we stop this revolving door of Amberlynn Reed's exes coming out to expose her? Because frankly, I don't give a shit. None of them have any tea. The most tea that you got was Beck admitting to the washcloth thing or spilling the washcloth thing. I don't know why I used the word admitting there, but that's it. It's the washcloth thing. That's the most you've gotten out of it. Destiny was boring as shit. I mean, it's all just boring fucking shit. Amberlynn is obviously a how do I put this? Because I don't want to use the word that she's abusive. She's a mentally ill, a mentally ill woman that probably just shouldn't be in a relationship from the get-go, but like she's just the type of person that's popping off like every so often. I get it. but like these women decide to get in these relationships with Amberlynn Reed, and I'm gonna be honest, how many other people are this well documented on the internet? At this point, Amber Lynn needs to stop dating people on the internet, and she needs to realize that pretty much anybody that she meets online is going to basically just be a fucking op at this point. The only one that actually ended up not coming out was Jade, right?
Showing you saying this, and I imagine you will see from the reaction, although I have no idea how this is going to be perceived. I really don't know. I'm a bit worried I'm going to regret making this, to be honest, but we'll just blow that bridge up when we get there, because I think it needs to get out. I think Amber can't carry on doing this to people, so I don't know. But anyway, Emily, if
Doing what to people?
you want to share your story, people do want to listen to you. I will listen to you. I'll listen openly. I'd be willing to share on your behalf if you don't want to get on YouTube. I'm sure you won't want to do that, but just so you know. And then A says a bunch of stuff, and then ha ha ha, I think Gorlworld is ready for Emily.
So Oak is A? I'm confused. I thought Oak was...
Is everybody in your chat rocket scientist people?
Well, they are if they can figure out how to send me Monero, yes. Martonymous, thank you for the 220 on my XMR. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I just had to use that for this. I'm not sure if I can play your video if it has fucking copyrighted music. What is this? Oh my god. The fucking Breakfast at Hussey's song. let me get to a pause point, and we'll play it here when we take a break. Thank you so much, Martonymous. I really appreciate it. Do we have to buy Monero to donate it, or does it convert the USD to Monero? So you have to use some crypto. There's USD coin, which is a crypto based on dollars. But you basically have to use crypto. If you're going to use real money, then go through super chats. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's weird not having a PayPal. Like, I've had PayPal this entire fucking time. It just really feels weird without it. Okay, where were we at on this? Because I was really about to just fucking say
that, but just so you know. And then A says a bunch of on your behalf if you don't want to get on YouTube. I'm sure you won't want to do that, but just so you know. And then A says a bunch of...
And then A says, but Oak is... Press 1 if this is Emily. Okay, who is Oak provoked? Because I thought that was Emily, but she's saying it's A. Okay, so there's no A, is there? There's literally nobody named A. She just presented this as... I'm talking to somebody named A, and it turns out that it's Emily. Got it. Okay. You need to stop posting on Insta and instead make a YouTube video series and get that coin back from that amazing concert you bought for her, in my opinion. Bro, those tickets cost a small fortune, and she got me Tupperware for my birthday, Lamau. Like, do you see how, like... stupidly casual this conversation is?
Stuff, and then ha ha ha, I think Gorlworld is ready for Emily's side, which I think is...
Ha ha ha, I think Gorlworld. Do you see how she's in the DMs with Emily being like, ha ha ha, you should make a video. Ha ha ha, I think we're ready to hear your side. Ha ha ha, give me the fucking tea. Like, honestly, if you're trying to get tea out of this woman, just get the tea out of the woman and move the fuck on. Why are you playing this game of like, maybe you should make a video, maybe... Get the information and then disconnect. You're not Emily's new friend. She's very stingy. That is one of the things that I'll say Alexis was actually right about. She spent so much money on useless shit. She bought like 400 highlighters when she was at my house and left them all here because she was into word searches and like using different highlighters. Now, do you notice here how Rachel loves to blur out all of the things that she says, But then when it comes to ha ha ha, she bought 400 highlighters, that's gotta be there uncensored, right?
It's true.
That that makes my poor ass so sad. Ha ha, such a waste.
Then on the 17th, which is the following day, Emily says, I would get so salty about that shit because she's asked me to drive her to the casino in Milwaukee after a 12-hour shift or running around for random errands and wouldn't offer a cent in gas money. A sends some more sympathetic stuff. I think it's fair to say that what A was doing here was kind of trying to coax Emily into sharing things.
Okay. I see what's happening here. So the person that she's blurring out is A. That's her. Now, come on. That's her, isn't it? That's her. There's no A. Press 1 if you know this story, if there's an A, and press 2 if there's no... I don't think there's an A. I don't believe it.
Which is partially why A doesn't want their messages shared, because they're worried that if they get worked out or somebody finds out who they are, they will then use what they've said to Emily against them or know loads of really personal stuff about them, and I understand that that could happen. So that's why I'm doing my best to hide everything I possibly can that could give you...
She's saying that these messages are between A and Emily, and A sends her all the leaked DMs. And that's what I'm saying. I don't believe there's an A. I think this is you. This is you in the fucking DMs.
Any idea who A is. So there's the question of, is it true? Is it real? Obviously Emily's only said that, which doesn't show very much at all. Emily could also be lying, so it might be that these screenshots are real, but that Emily is lying about Amber, I don't know. However, if it is true, and Emily isn't lying, and this really did happen, then that is a whole conversation which needs to be had, right? If this is Emily coming out, well, not coming out, but if this is Emily saying there was a physical element to the relationship, the reason that matters to me and the reason that I'm sharing it and platforming this and exposing these private DMs, which to be honest is not something I feel comfortable doing, but I think we have a duty in the Amberverse to know that this is true, because in the past, Amber has been accused of this before.
Notice she puts know that this is true.
To know that this is true.
Know that this is true, and then if this is true, make sure you put that in post-editing, because again, you don't know if this is true. Emily absolutely could be making up shit for attention and money, just the way Beck comes up here for money. And by the way, Beck comes up in this story eventually too. Just the same way Beck comes up here every fucking 3 months for more money. And you really want to take this and be like, oh, I'm going to put your DV story on my channel. We're going to save you. Where have I heard that before?
Because in the past, Amber has been accused of this before by Casey. And if this is true, it gives a lot more credibility, which Casey doesn't need this because I believed Casey anyway, but it makes it even...
Then why? Then why? Why do you need... I mean, this is what I'm saying, is it's like, does anyone else have a story about Amber abusing them? Like, that's all you really want from this. Let's be real. Esther Beatdown, thank you for rejoining for 14 months in a row. I appreciate it. How are you doing?
More likely that Casey isn't lying and that all of the other exes who have come out and said that Amber is awful and manipulative aren't lying. I don't believe they're lying anyway, but this is just like another ex in a line of exes. So it does matter, I think, if Emily did say this, and if Emily has been another victim of Amber, it's very relevant in my opinion.
If she's, listen, if she is a victim of Amber, she should go to the police. Okay? Not to a fucking reaction channel.
I'm super curious what the other people are going to think. I've not been doing this very long. I don't know if other reaction channels are going to think that I'm overreacting or being dramatic. I really don't know. But in my humble opinion, the concept that everybody jumped on...
So I don't know that I would say she's being overreacting or being dramatic about it. If anything, I would say she's probably being a little bit more timid about this than, like, I feel like she's being more casual about this than she should be. I feel like, I don't know. I mean, A fucking DV story for your shitty YouTube channel? Like, seriously?
On Emily and was so horrible and nasty to her, including myself, and then it may turn out that in fact she was actually more of a victim of Amber than anybody realised. That is very interesting and important for us in the Amberverse to assess. So, however, again, if it is true and that did happen to Emily, it makes Emily a victim of DV, and it's Emily's own story to share. Clearly, Emily doesn't want to talk about it because
don't you know it's the trail of victims? It's the Destiny's trail of victims and Amberlynn's trail of victims, Carrie's trail of victims. Everyone's got a trail of victims all laying across the fucking road behind them. God damn it, what is going on?
That message
YouTube?
On disappearing mode. If Emily wanted to talk about it, she would have shared her story. But I will say, in these DMs, we see Emily saying that she hasn't bothered sharing her story because she thinks nobody's going to want to listen to her. Well, Emily, that's not true. We do want to listen to you. So that's almost why I feel...
Press 1 if you want to listen to Emily the Feeder, and press 2 if you don't fucking care and wish people would stop trying to expose a woman who's been exposed 1.5 billion times.
Bit more comfortable sharing this because I feel like maybe Emily does want people to know. I could be wrong about that, so I don't know. Emily, if you want to share your story to somebody who will genuinely listen to you, don't get me wrong, I'm critical. I can call out and question your feederism related behaviour, but that doesn't mean that I won't support you as a victim of DV and share your story on your behalf if you want me to. If you want me to shut the fuck up and not mention it again, equally I won't. I just think this
why are you asking her this over a video?
To come out, and I don't know, I'm having like regret. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned this, maybe I shouldn't have made this video. I think it's going to be one of those where I just
I think it is a good idea to not tell the world that this woman has a DV story that she's not sharing with anybody. Like, this is so fucking weird, man.
Can post it anyway and see what happens. The truth is, we just don't know what the truth is. I understand in making this video I've taken some risk because this might turn out to be lies, right? It could happen. But just in case it is true, which
really?
To be honest, I think it might be, Amber supporters need to know. Everybody needs to know.
Well, I mean, all you really need around here is just a little speculation and just a little bit of belief that you can speculate your way into making anything be true.
Emily is another person in a long line of Amber's victims, then she deserves to have her story told if that's what she wants. And if she doesn't, then I suppose we'll all just be left to speculate. Thank you for watching. I'm curious what you guys think. I'm sorry if you feel I've let you down by sharing this. If you have any opinions or thoughts about the fact that I shared this, whether I should or shouldn't, I'm more than happy to listen. If it turns out that I shouldn't have, I will listen to that as well and I will apologise, but I just don't know what to do, and I feel like...
Hold on. Devil Brandon, thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. Oi, I'm sorry to hear about your PayPal getting banned. How else shall I be able to send you those long videos of the countries with faces saying the same word for an object and they argue about it? So I did turn on for the other channel, I did turn on credit card donations, but like I said, my biggest concern is about international donators. I'm so over it, and I'm sure I seem like an asshole, but I feel like this is all being blown up to bring more hate to Amberlynn. Get over it and move the fuck on already. No, exactly. Like, that's the thing, is it's like this whole community is just based on making fun of her, shitting on her, whatever. And it's kind of like, when it comes down to it, I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna try to like roll this up at the end, but like, when it comes down to it, is anyone surprised that people are willing to go to these lengths when you guys have made an entire fucking business model off this woman? Like, really? Like, there's a reason FFG is the most popular foodie reactor. It's not like by accident. Like, all anybody around here is looking for is the person who's going to take it to the next step and take it to the next level and poo touch. And you know what I find funny is that if you really think about it, I mean, Foodie Beauty Reaction Channel got flamed to hell and back in the day. And we talked about that a few weeks ago. Got flamed to hell and back in the day for calling, you know, the fucking grocery store and getting Chantal kicked out. How do you think that it would fly these days to get Chantal kicked out of the grocery store? Like, seriously, I feel like few people would have a problem with it, if I'm being real.
It needs to come out, and so I'm sharing it.
It was important that this info was assessed. The criticism and negativity around the video grew. Rachel took it down and followed up with donating the AdSense proceeds to a charity. 5 months later, we are here. It seems as though Rachel took some notes from...
So, right. What happened apparently was that, let's see if we can find a community post from then. Okay. So, hi everyone, I just privated my recent video. I realize this is very much too little too late. I got blinded by how badly I wanted everyone to know what Amber had allegedly done, which was stupid and misguided with hindsight. Thanks everyone for your constructive comments. The toothpaste is out of the tube now, and hiding the video is not an effective method of stopping the information from getting shared, but you guys are right that I never should have posted it. Edited to add, for anyone who's worried about me profiting from this, I understand. I'll post receipts of me donating the AdSense to a DV charity. My YouTube analytics will update tonight, and I'll share this soon. I don't know where that receipt is. I don't really totally care, if I'm being honest. Like, I just kind of am gonna take her word on it that she did that. I'm guessing she posted something at the time. Where that is, I don't know. I don't care. So yeah, she got flamed for that video, and rightfully fucking so. At some point, she starts basically conversing with Emily. Now, that's the part that I'm not totally sure about, is that at some point, she actually starts talking to Emily personally without this mysterious A person getting involved. 2 weeks ago, hi all, Emily has withdrawn consent for her voice to be used on my channel. To avoid any future issues or privacy concerns, I privated my previous video. Many thanks for the continued support of my channel. Well, here's the thing. So Charlie Gold comes out with all these fucking Discord screenshots, and like, I'll give you a taste of it because I'm not sure what Charlie shows versus what she shows, and we can try to go back and see because we're going to watch her apology video next.
Rachel.
And the reason I think some of this is edited, because I think that she showed some of these screenshots, but I think she omitted the very first one where she says, I always thought Charlie Gold was a twat. But like, it turns out, by the way, that there is a Discord where all of the small-time Gorlworld reactors hang out. So you're going to see names like Hecticana in here. Apparently Salty Crab was in this Discord. And so they're all in this Discord basically like ass-patting each other and being like, oh, don't worry about it. You know, people are just hating on you for no reason, whatever. And so it starts to become this thing where it's like, you know, what's really going on in that Discord? You know what I mean? It's the same speculation. I mean, again, I don't think that there's anything going on in this Discord, but it's the same kind of thing where everybody's now up in arms about, well, what's happening in this Discord? Why didn't I get invited? God damn it. What? In fact, where's Bali? I think she was in here earlier. Why didn't you invite Bali to the Discord? Okay? She was first. Anyway, let's watch this girl's apology video. Oh, she just uploaded again. The Amber... Okay. Okay, hear me out. So apparently, and we're not going to watch this because I think that this is all in bad taste. Apparently, there is a video that just randomly got released after this drama hit the fan. There's a video that got leaked of Amberlynn and Emily arguing. I guess Emily's in the car, Amberlynn, and everyone knows that this one is the one who leaked the video. And so other people, everybody's basically speculating that she sent the video to other people, went ahead and leaked it out, and now she's over here reacting to the video that just randomly got leaked. Who was talking to Emily? How did this get leaked? Who knows? You'll find out.
Off publicly on a big.
So yes, this is her response. Okay, so Charlie Gold starts putting out all these screenshots. Here's her response to it.
Hi everyone, welcome back. So today in this video we are going to talk about,
and yes, philosophy graduate everywhere on her channel.
Everything. We're going to get it all out and everyone will know exactly what's happened and what's gone on. So here we go. The first thing I need to do is just mention my previous video, which was a glitter and lasers reaction. When I filmed that, all of this stuff that's happened over the last 24 hours-ish hadn't happened yet. So that's why I didn't address it in that video. And I absolutely acknowledge that it was quite tone deaf to post that video and then not say anything because it looked like I was trying to move along and not address the stuff, which is not what's happening. So I'm sorry to all of my audience who saw that video and was like, what the fuck, why are you not addressing this? That's what happened there, but I am addressing it now. So here we go. So my goal in this video is to basically just tell you everything I can possibly tell you, get it all out so you know exactly what there is to know, and then you can think about it and talk about it amongst yourselves in your communities and such, and everybody will know what happened, because that's the goal, right? So the first thing I'm going to cover is the deleted video. I'm going to just touch on this for 2 seconds.
What do you mean? She's going to philosophize about fucking Amberlynn Reed.
Basically, I got a
I mean, I have to be honest, and I feel like I've seen this on a Reddit somewhere about people talking about writing their fucking dissertation on these women. Fucking, these people are sick in the head.
Privacy strike.
I hope you fail.
I suspect was from Emily on this video here, which was my first ever Gorlworld video. There's pictures of Colleen, who is Amberlynn Reed's girlfriend, ex-girlfriend.
The sad thing about this is I don't think that's meant to be a choker.
Sure, Emily, her deceased fiance, Colleen, there's pictures of her in that video, so that video got privacy striked. I think it was by Emily. I missed the emails because I'm a twat, and basically YouTube took that video down. So that's where it went. I'm currently arguing with an AI person, or fuck knows who I'm arguing with, in my email about that video and trying to get it back up again, but for everybody who noticed...
I'm actually curious, why are you trying to fight to get that video back up anyway? If she struck it for a privacy strike, like... and all of this shit has hit the fan, and you're over here talking to her, so why exactly just take the L? Just take the video down. Just let it be. Hey, Walking Queen, how you doing?
That's where that video went. I don't check my Gmail because I'm stupid. I just went in my YouTube studio and saw the notification and was like, what the fuck? So that's the notification. I'm pointing because I think I'm going to put it there. So just so everybody knows, that's where that video went. I did not personally take that video down, and I'm trying to get it back up. So just so everybody knows. Okay, the next thing we need to talk about is the Discord. So we've had loads and loads of messages and people talking about this Discord. So it's absolutely true. There was a private Discord, which consisted of a few people, and all of us trusted each other very well, and we were friends, and we were all talking about Gorlworld related stuff. There was all kinds of stuff in that Discord, some very interesting, juicy tea, which still hasn't come out yet, just to be clear. So for everyone who...
Why? You nearly shit your pants to come on and make a video the minute that you heard that there might be a DV story, and you're telling me that y'all have tea in the Discord that hasn't come out yet. Now, I want to point out that Charlie Gold is doing the exact same thing, where she's saying, well, these aren't all the screenshots. I like to keep the screenshots in my back pocket for when, I really need to use them. To which I say, if there's things people need to know, just put the fucking screenshots out, okay? Don't play these fucking games. Okay? There should be a decent enough reason instead of, well, I just want to have it just in case. She said even worse shit, but I'm not going to tell you. Come on. Just if there's shit that you like, you again, you think people need to know this shit, why are you sitting on it? Just so that you can make it into another video? Well,
he's been wondering, I did not share everything I got at all. And some of that stuff went in that Discord.
So not only is there stuff in the Discord that they're not sharing with us, there's stuff in her goddamn head that she's not sharing with us too.
Discord was a place where we chatted like mates. I'm sure you've all got mates. You run your mouth with your mates in a way that you wouldn't do on your public YouTube channel. But of course, it got out and everything that you guys have seen has been seen. So of course, as you guys all know, because you've all seen, somebody who was in that Discord has no fucking backbone, didn't want to tell me that they disagreed with my takes, and instead screenshotted a load of the Discord and said,
now, for those of you that don't know, the person that she thinks leaked the Discord DMs is Salty Crab. I don't know if it's because Salty Crab wasn't in the DM leaks or whatever. I'm just not sure why she came to this conclusion, but she believes it was Salty Crab that leaked the DMs.
Sent those screenshots out. They then sent all of those screenshots to someone who then shared some of that stuff.
Charlie
that
Gold.
person did not blur the face and name of some of the individuals in those
Oh no, they told on your buddies in the Discord, no.
screenshots who are not public figures, which I'm really angry about, because some of those people...
Apparently, and this is the thing, so apparently Salty Crab left the Discord and then all of these screenshots came out. And that's why she thinks it's suspicious and that's what happened. And she's probably right, if I'm being honest. It does sound fucking suspicious. But, I mean, honestly, if you're going to be in a Discord with a bunch of other content creators, I think that the problem is that, one, I think you have to expect that they're content creators, and like 90% of content creators are degenerate assholes that, are going to leak shit like that. The other half of it being that if you're a content creator in one of these spaces, you should not be a dickhead and leak shit like that. Both of those things can be true. All of these broads backstab each other. How could they even know who leaks stuff? Exactly. It really could have been anybody in there. Apparently Hecticana was in there. Like, it's a lot.
Have all kinds of personal
And yes, I heard there were viewers in there as well, which seems like a very outwardly bad idea to have actual viewers in the Discord there too. Because they don't have the same incentive as a content creator to understand these things. I don't know how I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I'm saying. They don't have the same perspective as a content creator.
Stuff going on in their lives. They don't want their faces and names to be made public, and yet they were. It takes 2 seconds to blur somebody's face in a screenshot.
Too bad.
So I think that's really...
You know what? You're on fucking Discord. The CCP's already spying on you. Too fucking bad. Stop using your real name and fucking pictures for everything. It's the internet. You could literally be anyone you want to be.
Fucking poor, to be honest, if I'm being honest about it. But anyway... That's, whatever, that happened, so the screenshots got out. The person who shared the screenshots, it will get out who that person was, and you will all be very surprised, I think. I was very surprised, provided that I'm right about who I think it is, which I think I am, but obviously I won't say...
But you don't fucking know. You don't really know, do you? Just admit you don't know.
Anything until I'm sure. But basically, that Discord was a bunch of people who I thought of as friends, mates, fellow creators who would chat and like spitball and bounce ideas off each other a lot of sarcasm and stupidity was said in that chat. I am going to cover all that stuff. This is not me like sweeping it under the rug and saying a lot of stuff was said. I'm going to talk about what I said. Of course, we all knew there was a chance that it might end up being made public. Nobody thought that that would actually happen, but it did happen. So here we are. So this is the
This is Gorlworld. Okay, you should be expecting it.
timeline of what happened, and then we'll talk a little bit about the
I love all the moralizing after sharing Amber Lynn's personal text, right?
plan for this video. So this person who was in the Discord sent a bunch of screenshots from the Discord to somebody else. That person then started tweeting those screenshots and putting them into their own Discord. So that's how that all got out. Then Geordie went live last night, and I haven't actually watched this live stream, by the way. I'm filming this on the morning of Monday, whatever it is, Monday the can't see the date, 3rd of November. I haven't watched Amber's live, I haven't watched Geordie's live, but Geordie went live, shared this clip, okay? So Geordie shared that clip, then Amber went live, and Amber said a whole bunch of stuff. I've been given like a TLDR of what happened in both of those live streams, but I haven't watched either of them yet. So I really don't know what was said, but I'm not at that bit yet. So for now, we're going to talk about the Discord and all the stuff you guys want me to address, and then the like Geordie Amber stuff can come in another video or a bit later. But just so you know, so far anyway, that's kind of the context.
No one should watch Geordie's lives. I've got an interesting surprise at the end of all of this.
Happened. One of the main things I need to address is the money. So a bunch of screenshots were shared, and it's me being very fucking cocky about how much money I've made doing Gorlworld content. Hey guys, I turned this video around pretty quickly, so you might get some editing Rachel bits here and there, and particularly when it comes to showing receipts, because I'm just going to chuck my own voice in over the top. So one of the main things that people have had a problem with,
good, because I want to read all this,
is me making this joke about wiping my tears with banknotes. In a minute you'll see I go into a bit more detail about it, but this is it here. So you can see Jawbone, who
how British, I'll wipe my tears with banknotes, mate,
who is a public person, is in the Discord, and he says something about how he's watching Geordie, and Geordie is saying he thinks me offering to pay for receipts is a nothing burger, basically. And then you can see I post a meme of Dave, who is my absolute favourite rapper, new albums.
So keep that in mind. Geordie has given his blessing on this.
It's amazing, by the way. Anyway, and then I say, love that from Geordie.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm leaving out a very crucial detail here. I apologize. So apparently she gets into the DMs with Emily, and I'll go ahead and sum this up for you. She gets into the DMs with Emily, and she wanted to pay Emily for her story, for her information. Basically what she does is she tells Emily, hey, listen, I'll give you half the AdSense on this video if you give me this tea, right? Well, everybody apparently, when they find out about this, gets up in arms. Of course, Geordie's okay with it, so whatever Geordie says goes, right? But a bunch of people get up in arms about it because they're like, why are you giving money to a feeder? Why are you giving money to a feeder? Okay, why are you paying for information? And like, I think on one hand, I'm kind of like, whatever to paying for information. But I am also like, why are you giving money not to a feeder, but why are you getting so involved that you're giving out, that you're paying to get a DV story? Like, why are you paying any of Amber Lynn Reed's exes? Because here's the kicker about it, is everybody seemed to argue that no, you should not give that money to Emily. You should give that money, wait for it, to Beck. To Beggy. The one who comes on here every goddamn fucking 3 to 6 months to complain about, oh, I drove my car into a ditch. I'm having surgery. I have this. I have that. Here's my PayPal and Cash App and Venmo and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'm aware that I've been complaining about losing my PayPal for the first hour of this shit, but I'm just saying, like, I actually come on here and make content, unlike Beck. And I think it's fucking ridiculous the way people have treated Beck throughout this whole thing with respect to believing her ridiculous fucking stories. I'm not sure about the surgery thing. I'm not sure about her. What was it? She had thyroid surgery, some shit like that. I'm not totally sure about it. If she had surgery, I hope she has a good I'm sorry. I've been misgendering the fuck out of Beck. I hope they have a good a well recovery. I hope they thrive so that they stop coming to the community tab to ask for money. Okay? That's what I hope. Hey Russ, how are you doing? But anyway, the whole point being that everybody got up in arms about it and said, oh, no, don't give the person that you're trying to get the DV story out, don't give them the money, give the money to Beck. And what's fucked about this is, correct me if I'm wrong, Rachel has already made this video by the time people are saying, no, give the money to Beck. So she's already exploited Emily for a fucking DV story. But it's like, no, give the money to Beck. Don't give it to the feeder that you just fucking completely scammed.
And then Jawbone says, so you're not really being publicly hung, drawn and quartered.
Triple
Rest easy,
bypass.
basically. And I say, if Geordie says it's all right, then I'm off the hook. I'll wipe my tears with banknotes. So that is what I said about that. That's the context of all.
That's what this is what I'm saying. You ever want to pretend like there's not some crazy hierarchy in Gorlworld, that there isn't like real fucking like I mean, this is just high school bullshit at this fucking point. If Jordy says it's all right, then I'm off the hook, tee-hee. What the fuck? Who gives a fuck what Jordy thinks? Fuck you. And fuck Jordy. How about
Is
that?
everybody in your chat rocket scientist people?
Yeah, are they? Huh? Is everybody in Jordy's chat rocket scientist people? Bartonomos, thank you for the $1.83. Huh, I wonder what Gorlworld is like. Start in 17 seconds. Hold on. I wanted to read Jane's comment here real quick. I've been through DV, and anyone refers to it as tea, I'd be pissed off, and I wouldn't want people getting in touch with me about it, and even offensive to be offered money for it, too. I agree with you so goddamn much right there. Like, clocked it. But then again, we're talking about Emily, and there's nothing suspicious about her wanting to get paid for a fucking DV story. I mean, and that's the thing, is it's like, it's incredibly offensive that Rachel wants to make this her content, but even more so, you know, that Emily's stupid enough to go along with it. This whole thing's so fucking ridiculous. Now, what is this? I wonder what Gorlworld's like.
They've only been in there for 3 minutes. Haven't even tried to figure out each other's names yet.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Gorlworld's like. You're right. Everyone in Jordy's chat will tell you exactly what they do, and what their pets do or whatever. Oh God, I mean, and that's the other thing. Everyone's so goddamn parasocial. Like, you know, and I hear the complaints all the time about so-and-so's being parasocial, whatever. But like, I mean, especially in these big channels, like everybody's like just telling all this fucking information. And I'm like, but don't cry when you get doxxed, when you fucking tell everybody your fucking dog just had ovarian cancer or whatever. Like, come
obviously,
on.
from this one screenshot, it's not immediately clear, but the vibe that Jawbone and I have, I don't know if you guys have seen any of Jawbone's content, but he's a joker.
I don't care.
He says things tongue-in-cheek to take the piss, and that is how I spoke back to him in this Discord.
Okay, Jawbone says, so you're not really being publicly hanged, drawn, and quartered, Diva. Rest easy. Okay.
Of course, I
We
felt
got
I was
Zachary Michael Jr. in the chat.
among friends. So when I made that comment, I was not talking about Beck. Beck was not relevant to the conversation. People are trying to make it sound like somebody said to me, "Oh, are you going to give the
don't
money to
dox your
Beck?" And I
pets.
said, "Oh no, I'd rather wipe my tears with banknotes," or some sort of bullshit. That is not what happened. The part of the conversation that was relating to Beck was over an hour prior, which I'm going to show you in a second. And this
Wait, who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? Just say, I like money. I like money. I say, do the peanut thing. I need money every day.
banknote comment had absolutely nothing to do with Beck. I was talking about Geordie, who is also somebody who takes Gorlworld lightly and makes lots of jokes, particularly about being paid lots of money by his viewers on their birthday and things like that. So the context around me saying this line...
Wait. Are the viewers paying Geordie on the viewer's birthday or on his birthday? Which?
Was completely nothing to do with
I don't give other streamers money on my birthday, okay? Give me money, okay?
Beck. I understand the timing of it comes across as extremely insensitive because about an hour prior I was deciding what to do with the money, but in a second I'll show you that screenshot and it will make a lot more sense as well, because you'll see that I say at the end of that screenshot, "I'll think about it," which I did then go on to do, and obviously I changed my mind. I'll explain a bit more about the Beck stuff and the money in a second. I just really wanted to nip this like vicious lie in the bud that when I made this joke about wiping my tears with banknotes, it had absolutely nothing to do with Beck, whose situation I empathise with so very seriously. They're going through something really shitty, and it's just fundamentally untrue that this comment from me had anything
Wait, you're not gonna say, but it's all Amber Lynn's fault?
to do with Beck in any way. Of course, the screenshots were shared with no context, which doesn't help because they were like grabs of wider conversations. I mean, we would talk like all day about a certain thing, so one screenshot of one section of a conversation doesn't really help anyone to kind of understand where people were coming from, and there's lots of little lines in various messages that people are obsessing over, but they don't know what was said prior, which got the person to say that. So the context is missing. No.
Who cares? Who cares? The only people who are complaining about your stupid banknotes comment are people who were going to complain anyway. Shut the fuck up.
Gorlworld content creator who pulls any number of views is only doing it for the love. People don't sit in their office and edit for like hours and hours and hours a day for just for fun. They do it to make money.
Yes.
And every content...
And see, this is, ironically, this is where I think she has a point, is like, yeah, like, what, like, honestly, people, do you think that, like, the profit motive doesn't exist or something? Do you really think that every YouTuber out here thinks we need to live in like a socialist utopia? I mean, at the end of the fucking day, the reason that people make, I've constantly argued that people should be monetizing their content, because the fact is, monetizing your content makes you a better content creator. It's a profit motive. It's a profit incentive. With all of that being said, there's a reason I don't think that you should be making a profit how do I put this? The profit is not the problem. The problem is that you're making content from the basis of a hate train, from being just making hateful content to attack one person. That's the root of the problem. The fact that you're making money off of it doesn't bother me in the goddamn least bit. Okay? Make your fucking bag. And I get it, but my problem is that there shouldn't be a profit motive to obsessively make video after video every single day on the same person who, as I mentioned earlier, has been exposed a billion times at this point. The majority of people don't care at this point, but what do I know? She's the one making $3,000 off a fucking video.
creator, if you ask them if they're honest about it, they'll say, yeah, I'm doing this to make money. One of the reasons anyway is that they're doing it to make money. Now, and it's absolutely true that that is one of the reasons I make these videos. The person who revealed all of this stuff themselves also said the same thing. They, when they revealed these screenshots, said it's going to be a good November for me. So that person also does it for the money and was super excited to get all of these screenshots because it meant that they would make a lot of profit in November, which is exactly what I did when I got all of those screenshots from Emily. So just to point that out, the difference is that I absolutely ran my mouth in the Discord and was like, oh yeah, I've made loads of money talking about this. Now, I'm not ashamed of the fact that I've made profit. I don't think anyone
Then why did you throw the other person? I'm not sure who she's talking about, but why did you throw the other person under the bus and be like, oh, well, somebody else was making money off this too?
should be ashamed of that. I'm genuinely not, because, you know, anybody who puts hours and hours and hours into something, I think, is perfectly fine and well within their rights to be pleased that they're being paid for their work. What's not fine is me saying a bunch of stuff like, oh, I'm going to wipe my tears with banknotes. The context of that conversation and all of those conversations were, I was
like, that's what I'm saying is I can totally envision it that you have like 10 fucking Karens down your throat about the, oh, you're going to wipe your tears with the banknotes, blah, blah, blah. What? You're so smug. You're just like Amber Lynn, blah, 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 blah. Like, you've really let this shit get into your head, girl. Come on. Okay? We get it. You know what's much more reductive than making that comment? Trying to explain it away.
Getting so much shit for offering Emily money to get tea out of her, tea or receipt.
But that's exactly what it is. It's like, this is the exact same thing. She's just doing more moralizing and grandstanding to say, well, I know I said that. I'm sorry. I should have known better. I mean, she's not really apologizing. She's just saying, at least I have the gall to come up here and apologize for it.
Out of her, and everybody was really, really mad at me. I was trying to make myself feel better about the situation, and I completely admit and accept it doesn't look good at all, and it's true. So I can't say anything about that. I absolutely said some very unfunny, uncouth jokes about how much profit I had made from this. That's what I said. That's why I said it in the Discord. I discussed with people when this all happened. I think it's the 23rd of October. You can see a screenshot where I am saying giving the money to Beck doesn't feel right. I'm not sure what to do about it.
All right, shut up. I don't think so, TV. So somebody said Hecticana, which, by the way, you forgot to blur him up here. Hecticana says, so are you going to give the money to Beck? The comments were pretty overwhelmingly in favor of that. I don't think so, TBH. Feels wrong. I can't explain why. But I can see how it's a huge fuck you to them both. So I can see the appeal. I might do a poll and then blame it on that. I don't know. But the poll would be Beck, so I've got time to think on it. If I do charity, I can write it off on my taxes. Ha ha. So I think this is Hecticana, but I'm not sure. But person says, I think that's the best, TBH. She says it feels cleaner. Somebody else says, I didn't understand why people even suggested it until I reread the statement a second time. But both from an account and moral POV, I think a charity with a registered charity number is the best. I think that, personally, you could stop making videos that get you into so much trouble that you feel the need to donate all the AdSense to a charity. So that's one place that you could start, is like by not getting yourself into this position in the first place, because this is now the, second time that you've had to give up your AdSense to a charity because you made an idiot of yourself? The other option is you could just say, fuck you all. I'm going to wipe my tears with my banknotes. Have a nice day. And just keep it moving. But, here we are. I don't know why. Yeah, I lean this way also. But there's something satisfying and petty about giving it to Beck. Ha ha. I'll think about it. Beck should become a registered charity at this point. It's true.
If I give it to a charity,
it's true. I mean, honestly, fucking Beck might as well fucking just start up their own fucking, what is a 401c?
And write it off on my taxes. And it's absolutely true. I did say that stuff. So when I made my community post, all those top comments were people saying, give the money to Beck, give the money to Beck. And I was like, that feels icky, because if I'm taking money that I got by sharing somebody else's DV story and then I give it to Beck, that just felt strange to me. It made me feel uncomfortable. I'm not going to fucking lie about that.
Especially if you've already promised to give the money to the DV victim. Yes, I actually agree with her on this point.
First, this is on the 23rd of October when I was having this conversation. I was like, is Beck even going to want that money? Is that going to make Beck feel uncomfortable?
Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. You don't even have to ask Beck. Beck already has their fucking Cash App ready to post in your comment section. You don't even have to ask them if they... Beck always wants money. Or is this a joke? You don't know if Beck wants money. Come on.
Do I actually want to give money from one ex to a different ex? It all just felt a bit icky. I was very conscious. I was in the mud. And I was like, is this just flinging further mud? Just putting myself more into the situation.
Yes.
And I didn't want to do it.
Yes, it is. It is stepping deeper and deeper into the shit. And yeah, that is cray-cray. Thank you, Stevie. I appreciate it. It is fucking cray-cray. She's stepping deeper and deeper into the shit.
Really uncomfortable. Hi, me again. So this is the screenshot you can see on the right hand side here. This is you'll see in a second. When I was actually filming this script, I hadn't grabbed these screenshots yet, which is why I keep having to get myself editing Rachel to come in and talk about this. But you can see on the right hand side there, that's the conversation I was having, and this is the part of the Discord where I was discussing what to do. Should I give it to Beck? Should I give it to a charity? And I explain here that I feel uncomfortable, and you can see there's a message where I say it feels cleaner.
Don't you have tears to wipe?
To give it to charity. That's what I'm referring to there. It just felt like I was getting even more entangled by giving the money to Beck. This is before I had gone through the thought process and changed my mind. Just to be really clear, the date is very visible on the screenshot. You can see this is prior to me making the video that I made later, where I told everyone, oh no, I've actually made the decision, and in a minute I'll tell you more about how I came to that decision. And if you look at the bottom of this screenshot here, you can see the last message.
By the way, is Hecticana getting flamed for not stepping in and saying, oh, you're supposed to give the money to Beck. Why didn't you stop her, Hecticana?
Is me saying I'll think about it, which I absolutely did go on to do, because obviously I changed my mind. You can also see the timestamp on this screenshot says 7:30, so this is like an hour before the comment about wiping my tears with banknotes, and by the time we got to that part of the conversation, the topic had completely changed and was not about Beck whatsoever. Just to make it very clear to everyone, although these were on the same Discord, the two messages were completely unrelated. I was like, I don't
Who cares?
know if Beck's even going to want it. Amber owes Beck the inheritance money, and I think Amber needs to pay Beck.
Okay, shut the fuck up with this stupid inheritance money. I do not believe for a second that Beck has not made the inheritance money, the fucking live stream money, and then some. Right? Just make a new fucking video. Like, what the fuck is going on, man?
Back, that was my knee-jerk gut reaction when that all first happened.
Beck has more than enough money. The fact that Beck wastes it on fucking Nickelodeon fucking t-shirts and whatever the fuck else Beck wastes it on is nobody's fault but Beck's.
I was like, this feels a little bit strange to me, okay? But then I reread my community post, I reread all of you guys' comments, and I was like, no, it actually does make sense for me to give this money to Beck. And the reason that it made sense, and this is why I changed my mind, and this is the main reason I changed my mind, I saw this comment. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. If I can find it, I'll put it here. I may not be able.
I saw this comment. Ooh.
able to, but somebody said,
What did the philosopher in the YouTube comments tell you that made you change your philosophical mind?
you mentioned Beck as one of your reasons for offering Emily money in the first place, and that is why you should give it to Beck, because you literally mention Beck in this post. And I was like, you're totally right, I do.
What? I don't believe this for a fucking minute. You did this because everybody was giving you shit. Shut the fuck up.
In the post, and when I made this initial offer to Emily about the finance video, I say...
no, that's the thing, is she did this because people want, you know, oh, you should give it to Beck, you should give it to Beck. And so that's exactly what she did. She, like... This is the thing that annoys me about this, is like, these people will in the background sit there and fucking like talk all this fucking mad shit, but then when they get on camera, it's like, oh no, I really care about Beck. I don't think Beck's an e-bagger. I don't think they're an e-bagger. I just, they're a victim. They're one of Amber's trail of victims. Oh. And that's what they do in public. And then, you know, in the background, they are absolutely like, oh, here comes Beck again with the grift.
To her, this will be so fucking good because it will help other exes who've been screwed over financially by Amber, because like Beck, for example, who is owed the inheritance money back. So my impetus for offering...
Were you going to offer Beck an interview as well? Is that how you were going? How is that supposed to financially benefit the other exes? Were you going to offer all of them an interview and pay them to tell their DV stories? That seems like a real big incentive to make up a DV story if you want to know the goddamn truth.
Emily this money was so that she would make the finance video with me, send me all of the proof of Amber being a tight ass and all the other stuff, which I never actually got. But the point is that my goal was to kind of help the other exes and be like, guys, look, Beck's not the only one she owes money to. That was my goal, right? So when I read this comment, I was like,
what? What does that mean? Why do you assume that she owes money to all of her exes? What does that mean?
Oh, yeah, that was what I was trying to do. That was the point of it. And it made me realise, oh yeah, of course I should give the money to Beck. And then Beck also made a further community post where they talk about their surgery and such. And I was like, oh yeah, ding, 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 light bulb moment. It makes complete perfect sense to give this money to Beck.
Ding, ding, ding. Opportunity for me to come in, swoop in, and save the day.
Beck. So I changed my mind and I decided, oh yeah, of course I'll give it to Beck. That makes perfect sense. So in that screenshot that you've seen where I'm saying, oh, it feels kind of icky, I'm not sure about doing that, I don't think I want to, and also I mentioned the tax benefit of it all, that was before I had gone through that thought process. So yeah, there is a screenshot out there of me saying, I don't know if I'm going to give this money to Beck, it feels wrong, because that is how I felt at one point. And so the timing of all of this has been like purposefully twisted.
The timing, oh my god. I don't fucking care. I don't care about you saying you wiped your tears with banknotes. Shut the fuck up about it already. Oh my god, this bitch is giving me a headache. What the fuck?
By this individual to try and make me look as bad as possible when actually
great.
What happened was not like this at all. For example, this person's made...
Are you in Charlie Gold's trail of victims? Shut the fuck up. Beck shares detailed updates about their devastating... God damn it. Shares detailed updates about their devastating medical and financial situations. Just please miss me with the financial situations. Beck has grifted so much fucking money off this community. I don't want to hear it. Rachel blames Beck for making a deal to pay thousands to an active death feeder who's publicly gifting food money to dying food addicts. My God. Do you... Listen, Emily's only killed off one as far as I know. You gotta show me some evidence of the active victims here. Everybody's a victim in this shit. Implies it'd be icky and unethical to help Beck instead when she reneged on her promise to pay the feeder and said she wouldn't personally benefit from denying Emily her cut, then says to her peers that she actually wanted a tax write-off from Emily's cut. Cool, cool, cool.
This comment where they say Beck shares detailed updates about their devastating medical and financial situation. Rachel blames Beck for making...
Like, if you were gonna do this, just pay Emily the fucking money. What the fuck's wrong with this woman?
Making a deal to pay thousands to an
like, you're
active
literally telling on yourself.
feeder who's publicly gifting food to dying addicts, and then implies that it'd be icky and unethical, So the timing of what happened there is completely wrong. So Beck made their community post 5 days ago, and I made those comments in the Discord on the 23rd of October, which was way before Beck had given this update. I also did not blame Beck.
Well, can we not post... This was the same shit Pretty Little Lies did with the whole posting the IV in the arm shit on her fucking community tab. Can we not post the surgery scars and shit? Come on.
Whatsoever. I said that Beck could benefit from everybody knowing.
Also, how far down is the PayPal, Venmo, Cash App?
That Amber also abused financially another ex, which is absolutely true. But obviously when you lay it out like this, it sounds like that would be really awful if that's what happened.
Right, exactly. The only real victim here is Rarity.
But that's absolutely not what happened. Those comments that you can see me make in the Discord where I'm not sure what to do were made before Beck made their post on their community tab, just to be really fucking clear about what actually happened here. So I made that decision, and I had further conversations in that same Discord where I said, guys, I think this is what I'm going to do. But those screenshots weren't shown. So it's just kind of funny to me that only bits that make me look really bad have been shown. There was all this...
Oh, wait, you're saying that's why Charlie Gold is withholding information? Oh, God, color me shocked.
These parts of the Discord where you can see me being like, oh, I don't know what to do. Is this the right thing? I don't want to be a dick. So there was loads of that which never got shown. Only little bits that make me look really fucking bad were shown with no...
You still typed it, okay? Like, again, it's much easier to say... I'm going to wipe my tears with the banknotes. Have a nice day. I don't really give a fuck. I paid to get tea that you fucking losers wanted because this is what they do. Like, I think I can't tell what bothers me more, whether it's her poo touching or the entire community trying to morally grandstand on this fucking bullshit as if you didn't want this tea.
In context. So anyway, that is what happened there. I discussed it all, and that's
like,
what you...
I know we around here probably don't want this tea and don't fucking care. And again, I think the whole thing is in poor taste. But I guarantee you, everybody complaining about this wanted this information. They just didn't want it done this way.
Can see there, it's before I made the decision, and it's me umming and ahhing, and I absolutely did. I totally did. I did not know what to do, but I landed on the right decision in the end. And the comment that I make about the tax break is absolutely true. If I had donated that money directly to a domestic violence charity in the UK, not only could I have gift aided the donation, so 25% would be added to it by the UK government, but I could also have...
But then when people started criticizing you about taking a tax break, you realized you needed to give it to Beck so that people didn't accuse you of doing it for a tax write-off.
Written that off on my taxes. I could have deducted that amount from my profit on my taxes. I absolutely could have. But that doesn't matter. What matters is doing the right thing with the money. But the point is that I absolutely did have that thought process. But, as I've said, this was before I made the final decision. So I just think it's important, and I do think it matters that I decided the right thing in the end. People are allowed to go through a thought process. They're allowed to spitball their ideas and thoughts off the people around them before they come to a decision.
Oh, we're all real proud of you, Rachel, because you finally came to the right decision at the end of the day. Oh, good for you. I mean, I fucking don't fucking care. Like, she has been I mean, we're 18 minutes into this. You could have cut out at least 15 minutes of this shit by, like, not looping about this fucking bullshit.
Decision that is healthy. What is not healthy is taking screenshots of that conversation, sharing them, and trying to spin a different point of view when you yourself don't know the context and haven't seen the wider conversation. A final point on the Beck stuff as well is that I've reached out to Beck both on Instagram and on YouTube, and they have not replied to me. So I'm a little bit nervous of what to do, because I could just PayPal the money over, but then Beck will just receive this random money and be like, what the hell, unexpectedly, and I don't know if that could happen.
Do you really think that? Do you really think that? Because I don't. I think that there are people who just regularly give Beck money. Hot take, maybe. But press 1 if you don't think that there are people... Like, press 1 if you think that there are people out there that are so fucking deranged about Amberlynn Reed that they will go give fucking Beck a monthly stipend to make sure Beck gets fairly compensated for all of the imaginary money that they lost being with Amberlynn. I mean, I'm sorry, but I fully believe that Beck has made that money back and then some. And if Beck saw $4,000 pop up in their account, Beck would be like, oh, okay, cool. I guess we're having pizza tonight. Watch some Doug.
Have certain problems for them. I don't know if they get any benefits or anything, and if receiving a chunk of money might be an issue. I guess on PayPal it would be fine. But yeah, Beck has not replied to me, so I am like not sure what to do about that. I'm going to give them the money, don't worry. But the question is like, how? And Beck hasn't even said if they for sure want the money. So if anybody...
Beck wants the money. I promise you Beck wants the money.
Has like a way to contact Beck,
Beck's
that would be
t-shirts
awesome if you could get me in there. The money is going to Beck, which is the right decision. I stand by that decision. I also stand by the fact that I went through a thought process to come to that decision. And when that money is given to Beck, I will absolutely tell everyone. There is a lot of stuff that still needs to be covered. We've done the Discord, and now we're going to get into some of the other things. So number 1.
I mean, I can't even imagine, like, people put up their PayPal and Cash App links and whatever. Like, let me just do it this way. You guys don't have to ask me for permission. Okay? You don't have to ask me for permission to send me a super chat, okay? I'm going to be generous here, and I'm going to allow all of you to send me a super chat if you want to, okay? But just you. I'm just allowing you.
Is the flirting. Screenshots have been shared that show me saying that I flirted with Emily to get the tea. And I did say that. The screenshots are real, as I've already said.
Okay. So this is the other half of the story, is that on top of offering money for a DV story, they were also flirting with Emily in the DMs in order to get this information. Again, if you're approaching this from, and she'll say this at some point, that she's trying to be a journalist, but if you're approaching this from a journalist point of view, you talk to them directly, you get the information directly, you let them know what your intentions are directly, you get the information, and then you stop talking to them. You're not a journalist and a detective, okay? This, like, what are you doing here that you ended up flirting with her? So, and also, spoiler alert, Rachel's a lesbian too.
And I think this is kind of funny, and I'm going to just touch on this now. So I wanted the tea. I run a Gorlworld YouTube channel.
DD
so
2.0.
getting receipts and proof about one of the girls.
Oh shit, Bad Wolf, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. That's so kind of you for allowing me to do this. Good luck with PayPal. Thank you, Bad Wolf. I really do appreciate it.
Is super, super valuable to me. It's valuable monetarily, obviously, because I make profit off the videos.
Oh, man,
All
I'm
of
not
that
gonna
stuff is super valuable. My goal
I'm not going to unsee that underbite now.
is to analyze the girls the best way I possibly can. So in order to do that, I want to see the proof, and I'm not going to lie about that. I absolutely do, and it is completely true.
She's a journalist. She needs to see the proof. So, of course she's going to flirt with Emily. But again, this would also, like, negate the idea of, like, you were in there. I mean, you were in the DMs trying to get this information. You were willing to pay for the information, but you were also flirting with her. So let's just get this clear. Did the flirting not work? Because that's where I'm getting the impression is that the flirting didn't actually end up working for you, and you ended up having to pay for the DV story. So are you embarrassed? Are you ashamed of yourself yet?
That during my
your BMI is not high enough for Emily, okay? Rachel, you're not fat enough for Emily. Sorry.
texting with Emily, I was much kinder to her than I might have otherwise been. I was much nicer.
Did you tell her you were going to eat some Twinkies for her? I gotta know.
Much more jokey. I sent some winky face. Actually, I don't even know if I sent winky faces, but I definitely was somewhat more amenable to her than I could have been because I wanted her to feel comfortable with me and give me all of the proof, right? I don't think anybody is going to send...
Did anyone hear this explanation recently? Does anyone else know where you just heard this explanation very recently? I wanted them to feel comfortable with me. You know who said that? Anja said that as an excuse to why she sent her children's pictures to Cyrax. She said, I did it because I wanted him to feel comfortable. Just a weird coincidence that I heard with her bringing this story up. I wanted her to feel comfortable with me, so I flirted with her, yeah.
Somebody else, like 150 screenshots, videos, various other stuff, without you making them feel comfortable. So I describe that as flirting in the Discord, and I probably stand by that. I definitely did flirt with her a little bit. I don't give a fuck about that. I think flirting so that you can make more money is totally normal. People do it when they're bartenders, burlesque dancers, so many different professions.
Just say you wanted to be fed. Okay, it's okay. You can admit it.
You'll be a bit nicer than you want to be.
Just be like, I was really, really hungry one night. And I didn't have any more pizza left in the freezer. So I decided to text Emily and be like, I'm hungry.
To somebody because you're trying to get ahead in your career. This is one thing that I'm not gonna kind of recant on because...
Yeah, and this is the other thing. Apparently Rachel has a girlfriend and or a partner, and she's doing this, and it's like... I mean, look... In my opinion, it is easy to look the other way when Rachel's pulling in $4,000 for a video and say, okay, this is what my spouse does for a profession. But I would think that your spouse having a profession of just simply shitting on one woman every fucking video, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be with somebody who approved of me doing that. Does that make any sense? But then to find out that not only is she devoting her YouTube channel, making her career about fucking Amberlynn Reed, she's also going as far as to text Amberlynn's exes and flirt with them in the DMs to get information. And it's starting to remind me of that story, that other story with Amberlynn, the, what was it, Erica Valentine or whatever? I don't remember. Those two were crazy.
I think that flirting with somebody is literally no big deal. I think that people having a huge problem with me flirting with somebody a tiny bit to get more information is like kind of weird. Like, why do you care who I flirted with? Now I understand the argument.
Unlike, you know, it's funny that you bring up the $4,000 a video and her nails look like that. Because all I thought about was the fact that, like, Frogan could never, you know, she pays all that fucking money and her nails goddamn look like shit. But, you know, Frogan could never hear.
Is that she's a death feeder, and that's why I shouldn't have flirted with her. If you saw this alleged flirting, you'd be like, oh.
Hey, Potato, I want to see Rachel's philosophy degree. It better be from Oxford. To be an ALR expert. Don't you, I'm telling you, don't you think these idiots write their dissertations on Amberlynn and Chantal? Like, you know they do.
Because it was literally nothing. I just personally think
who makes 4K a video? Let me tell you something. Not me. Okay? So hit the like button so that maybe one day I can make 4K a video.
It's no big deal. If you feel that it's a huge deal, that's cool. That's your opinion, and you're genuinely within your rights to have that, and I support you having a different opinion from me, right? Because that's what life is all about. I'm not trying to be in an echo chamber.
I'm so glad you're allowing me to have an opinion. Thank you so much, Rachel. I really appreciate it.
But I just want to say my view on my own actions in that situation
of you.
is that me flirting with somebody to get more tea is really no big deal, and it happens in a multitude of jobs. And if you think it doesn't, you're objective.
Yeah, let me tell you something, Rachel. Let me goddamn tell you something. You know what job it doesn't happen in? First of all, flirting in any job is, unless it's sex work, is probably a big no-no in any fucking job that's not sex work, okay? So let's start there. But the other half of this is... Actually, I don't remember what I was going to say now. The fuck did she say?
And it happens in a multitude of jobs. And if you think it doesn't, you're objectively wrong. People have said all kinds.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is sexual harassment in most jobs. But you know what job, now I remember, you know what job it doesn't happen in? In fucking journalism.
Kinds of wild and hilarious things about me and Emily falling in love. I think a lot of that was said in Amber's live, which I'm going to react to probably in my next video. But it's absolutely not true. I have a hard line that I'm not talking about my girlfriend. That is nobody's business. I do not choose to...
Okay, I don't give a fuck. If you had a hard line, you wouldn't have been flirting with her in the DMs.
Monetize information about my girlfriend.
So you've got a hard line, and like, good for you that you have a hard line and a boundary when it comes to your relationship. Now maybe establish some boundaries with the people that you talk about in your videos.
Or make my girlfriend public. So it is a hard line for me that I will not be discussing my girlfriend, my relationship. But what I will say is that this speculation that Emily and I fell in love or anything like that is absolutely laughable. And that is not...
Yeah, I believe that part. I think she rejected you. That's what I think, Rachel. You're not fat enough.
What happened. But when I react to Amber's live, I think I'll talk more about that then, because I think she's the one.
You mad because Tommy don't want you, baby?
who tried to kind of peddle that narrative, so we'll talk about that later. Hello, I had the section where I talk about Beck a bit later in the video, but I've ended up grabbing that section and moving it backwards, so now I talk about my screenshots between myself and Emily, but just to make it clear, there's a little like awkward cut here because I moved the Beck section to be in line with the rest of the money section because the structure of the video made no sense. So now I'm about to start talking about my decision to not give the money to Emily and the discussion that I had with Emily. In this Discord, I shared screenshots of the conversation between myself and Emily where I tell her that I'm not going to be giving her the money. Someone has threatened to share these screenshots and they're getting all high and mighty and excited that they've got these screenshots, so I'm going to show them to you instead, and then that person can talk about them if they want to, just like every other reactor is maybe going to. I personally think it's quite fucking boring. I'm going to show you them and you can do with them what you will. So here they are. I've just realised whilst editing that there are 2 screenshots which I somehow didn't
Okay, so here's the DMs. Is she gonna read
cover
them?
in the video.
I don't want to read this shit.
So I'm just going to pop them here for you now. So this is the part of the conversation where I tell Emily that I'm not going to be giving her the money, basically. So this is the start of the conversation. Emily got annoyed at me and was like, "Why did you unfollow me?" Which I didn't. It was kind of strange.
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna read. I don't think she is gonna read them. So Emily says, "This has all been very hard for me, and I feel like now I don't have your support either. You told me I could trust you." Kind of fucking journalist says, "Oh, you can trust me." Says, "Fucking Christ. I haven't unfollowed you, mate. I've been following you for over a year. I understand why you feel frustrated, but my worry is that I cannot trust you, that you won't go back and talk to Amber, because you have done that before and I will look like a total mug for having defended you. I have shown your side of the story to basically everyone in Gorlworld, which has worked to your benefit. You threatened to go to reaction channels when you spoke with Amber, and now you've done it, and it has benefited you by getting your proof out, which is what you wanted. I have to put my reputation on the line to get the truth out, and because I wanted to support a DV victim. This has always been about getting the truth out there via proof. I'm not on anyone's side. I'm on the side of proving what really happened. That's what I've always said." So I feel like what she's done here is made this contingency about like, well, I'm not giving you the money if you're going back to Amber Lynn. Because if you go back to Amber Lynn, now she's going to get the money. And that's Beck's money. Yeah, and exactly, Potato. This is what pisses me off. And I have to be honest, this is what fucking pisses me off, is that you honestly are out here getting someone else's fucking DV story, and you don't want to pay them. You're going to pay somebody else just to piss off Amber Lynn, because that's what this is all really about, is to piss off Amber Lynn. You don't give 2 fucks about a domestic violence victim. You don't give 2 fucks about Emily's DV story. You don't give 2 fucks if it's real or not. The only thing your channel exists to do is to piss off Amber Lynn Reed. Let's be real here. Emily says, "I understand. I know you don't trust my word, but I'm not going back to Amber. I'm not sure who is telling you. I'm talking to her, but clearly they're trying to stir the pot. I'm putting this entire chapter of my life behind me. I've been hurt by her. Thank you for telling my side of the story. I truly do appreciate it. Are you still going through with your word to split the AdSense with me? I'm going to assume you're ghosting me now." And then Rachel replies with, "Hey, sorry, I thought I was blocked." Emily sends a voice note, which I have a feeling we're not going to hear. And Rachel says, "No worries. I think you should make a public statement on your own platform to inform people that it wasn't you. I think our communications have skewed my judgment and impartiality towards the situation, and I think it's best we stop speaking." Just, Like, pay her the fucking money. I mean, that's what pisses me off about this shit. You had to deal with her to pay her the fucking money. Pay her the fucking money. You shouldn't have agreed to it in the first place, because you shouldn't be doing any of this in the first place. If somebody's saying this shit to you, you say go to the police or something. I make a video yourself. Dare I say, this reminds me of a certain fucking interview that we still haven't heard the end of.
By this point in time, she had changed her profile picture and stuff and deleted everything on her Instagram. So you can see in the right hand side screenshot, I thought that I had been blocked, so I didn't bother replying. But you can see here my reasoning for not giving her the money. So I say, I've been followed. I didn't unfollow you. I've been following you for over a year. I understand why you feel frustrated, but my worry is that I cannot trust that you won't go back and talk to Amber, because you've done that before and I will look like a total mug for having defended you. And that's what I say. I say, I've showed your side of the story to basically everyone in Gorlworld, which has worked to your benefit. You threatened to go to reaction channels when you spoke with Amber, and now you've done it. That was another dig from me, because I saw in the screenshots, I kind of realised in the screenshots, she literally threatens Amber by saying, oh, I'm going to go to reaction channels. And I was like, oh, lol, that's exactly what she did. And then I say, and it has benefited you by getting your proof out there, which is what you wanted.
So her threatening Amber Lynn saying, I'm going to go talk to the reaction channels, that's not a red flag to you that this story might be a bunch of bullshit? Yes, Rachel, you give the money to Will. Like, it doesn't occur to you that, like, her saying that I'm gonna go to reaction channels out of spite, that might be your red flag, that this story might be a whole load of bullshit? Like, that didn't set off a red flag for you, and so that's why you're saying, oh, I'm not gonna give you the money now. No, you shouldn't have agreed to give the money in the fucking first place. That's where you went wrong.
I've put my reputation on the line to get the truth out, because I wanted to support a DV victim. This has always been about getting the truth out via proof. I'm not on anyone's side. I'm on the side of proving what really happened. That's what I've always said. And then Emily says, I understand. I know you don't trust my word, but I'm not going back to Amber. I'm not sure who is telling you I'm talking to her, but clearly they're trying to stir the pot. That wasn't the case. There was absolutely proof that they were talking. And then obviously Amber, I think Amber had already done this at this point. She deleted
Who
her
cares? You should have agreed to give her the money if you weren't going to give her the money.
Videos about Emily and posted that community post. So it was very obvious the two of them were talking again. And I was like, girl, I've literally made all these videos sharing your side of the story, and I've believed you when you've told me that you're this awful victim of this terrible abuse, and now here you are back in bed.
You know, that's the thing. I don't believe you for a second that you just outright believed her. You just wanted the fucking dirt for your fucking shitty YouTube channel. That's it.
With Amber, it was just really...
Like, that's the thing, and this is why people are criticizing you, is that you've made it very apparent that you're willing to do whatever it takes to make an easy buck. That's fine. Just go make your damn easy buck.
Disingenuous, and I was like, what the heck? Emily says, I'm putting this entire chapter of my life behind me. I've been hurt by her, which is hilarious because they're literally still talking now, which is just mad. And then Emily says, thank you for telling my side of the story. I truly do appreciate it. So that's proof there that she was grateful that I let her put her voice note in my video. She was pleased with the video. She was glad that her side of the story, her version of events, got out via the voice note. And then she asks me, are you still going to go through with your word to split the AdSense with me? I'm going to assume you're ghosting me now. And I say, hey, sorry, I thought I was blocked. She then sent me this voice note where she claims that she's not the one who privacy struck Alex's shook, which I have no idea if that's true, but then you can see that this is my reply to that. And then I'll let main video Rachel like pick back up. There's this screenshot. This is the...
Wait a minute. You want to tell me that the voice note that she sent you, it's 42 seconds long from what I can see. The voice note that she sent you was about Alex's shook, and what you reply with is, I think we should stop communicating. That's what was in the voice note? I don't believe you, ma'am.
Reply to that, and then I'll let main video Rachel like pick back up. There's this screenshot. This is the first one. I think there's 9 of them, so we'll get through them. They are honestly boring, but we'll talk about it. So here's the conversation. We'll start here. So Emily told me that she is not the one who's making the privacy complaints. That's what she said, and then this is my response, and this is where we are. So I say, no worries. I think you should make a public statement on your own platform to inform people that it wasn't you who made the privacy complaints. I think our communications have skewed my judgment and impartiality towards the situation, and I think it's best we stop speaking. And that's absolutely true. She was telling me all kinds of stuff about herself, about Amber, and it was getting very difficult to tell what was true and what wasn't true. And having her in my ear whilst I was trying to make content for you guys was just weird, and it felt uncomfortable. And when I say that it skewed my judgment and impartiality, what I meant was the fact that I wanted more tea from her meant that I couldn't be as critical about her as I wanted to, as I've already told you guys. So that's what I mean when
Which is why you don't do this in the first place.
I say that, and I say it's best we stop speaking. By the way, just to be clear, this is the last conversation Emily and I ever had. You're going to get up to and including the end of the conversation. So I say, while I understand this decision will be disappointing to you, I can't in good faith pay you for the video where I shared your story, because I heavily suspect that you had other motives for speaking to me besides getting your story out as a DV victim. I feel I've been a pawn in a bigger game between you and
But you're still going to continue to profit. So you're the victim here because you wanted to profit off of a DV story, but now that you realize, despite all of the fucking red flags that you said were there in the first place, despite all of this, you're not going to pay her the money that you literally made off the video, that you've already made off the video. You're not going to pay her because now you think it's fake. Like, do you see what I mean? Like, it's just fucking ridiculous. Like, it's like, oh, well, I wanted the tea so bad that I promised to pay you this, but oh, no, I think it's fake. It's like it's like with contractors, when you have the Karens that try to rip off fucking contractors, and then they're like, well, fuck you, and they fucking destroy your fucking front porch because they're like, well, I fucking did all this work for free.
Amber, and that my good intentions have been somewhat used. That's the reasoning that I gave her. I thought I was sharing her story, but actually that's not really what was going on. She was using me and my channel and my angle to try and attack Amber. She didn't actually want to get her story out, clearly, because she was still in fucking cahoots with Amber, which just pissed me off, because I was like, don't talk to me about how you're such a victim and you feel so awful and then run back and have a chin wag with the person who did it to you. The whole thing just felt strange. So
wow, it's almost like as a philosophy student, you have no idea how fucking domestic violence and victimization works. Like, you do realize that victims regularly go back to their abusers. You do realize this is true, right, Rachel? They taught you in philosophy about this, right, Rachel?
So I say, in light of the...
Yeah, if she thinks it's fake, did she take the video down, or is she going to leave it up to get more ads? So is the video up? Like, is this particular video up? Because that's what I'm not totally sure about. Because she made it sound like, at least at the beginning, it felt like she made it sound like that it was taken down because of the privacy complaint.
The recent developments, I know it would be a disappointment to my audience, and I can't be sure confirmation of any payment wouldn't end up getting back to Amber and then be used against me. I'm pleased we were able to show the proof to the audience, but I don't think it's appropriate for me
every penny
to make a payment to you. Instead, I will make a donation to a domestic violence charity. I have to safeguard my integrity with my audience. This is something I'm not willing to risk. Thank you for understanding, and I wish you all the best. Now, that obviously, it makes me look like a total idiot, because I'm saying here that I want to safeguard my integrity with my audience, and that's absolutely true. I knew that if you guys knew that I had paid Emily for this, that you would be so angry with me.
Okay, so Emily replies, I want the video taken down because it's done nothing but cause me problems. I'm not going to make a statement. I'm not going to post anything to social media. I'm being harassed. I kind of can't help but think, like, Emily, what the hell do you expect? You've been harassed since day one. So what do you expect? You know, this is just how they move. Like, what did you expect? People are calling my family. Everyone is talking about reporting me now because Hecticana posted about it. And now you're not staying true to your word. How would you like it if somebody did that to you? I feel like I've been used and exploited. I'm not talking to Amber. This is just your excuse to go back on your word. Unbelievable.
There was no way I was going to pay her. And then Emily says, then I want the video taken down because it's done nothing but cause me problems. I'm not going to make a statement. I'm not posting anything to social media. I'm being harassed. People are calling my family. Everyone is talking about me, about reporting me now because Hecticana posted about it. And now you're not staying true to your word. How would you like if someone did that to you? I feel like I've been used and exploited. I'm not talking to Amber. This is just your excuse to go back on your...
And to be clear, if this is all some big ploy from Amber Lynn, good job. Good. Keep it up, girl.
Word, unbelievable. So that she says she's being harassed and she wants the video taken down. When I posted the video, Emily was pleased with it. She was completely fine with the video when she thought she was being paid. And then when she realised she wasn't going to get paid, suddenly she blamed the video for her being harassed.
And you know what's funny is, like, on the complete opposite side, let's pretend like Tommy wasn't talking to Amber Lynn for just a minute. Then now you've given Tommy every incentive to go running back to Amber Lynn for money.
Which is completely unfair.
Just pay the bitch.
She says, you say you're sharing a victim story, then turn around and not believe me after you make money off me, all while you're worried about your reputation. Come on, Rachel. She had no problem with anybody making any money, all the while she thought she was getting some of it. As soon as I said, sorry, it's not going to you, she clearly feels that she's been screwed over. And you guys know what happened. And I say, as stated prior, I feel a similar way. My intention was to share your story, which has been achieved. You receiving a payment from me will have no tangible effect to your complaints above, which I sympathise with, talking about her being harassed or whatever. The purpose of this was for you to clear up information and share your story, not to make a profit. I do not in any way support you being harassed, doxxed, or having your family contacted. I have not contributed towards or encouraged this behaviour. A donation of half the total AdSense of this video, less 19% for taxes, will be made to a domestic violence charity. I will not benefit financially from this decision.
Less 19% for taxes, whatever. But why is she, like, skipping over Emily's messages? You say you're sharing a victim story, then turn around and not believe me after you make money off of me, all while you're worried about your reputation. Come on, Rachel. Looping. Rachel, I need to be very clear. I did not consent for my personal experience to be used for profit or public content without fair compensation. You agree that there would be... You know Emily could, like, literally sue you for this shit, right? Like, you're... And this is, like, my biggest thing that I try to, like, at least instill is, like, never put yourself in a position where you could be sued by a fucking lolcow. And I mean... That's exactly what you've done here, is you've put yourself in a position that you could absolutely be sued for her, that you completely committed fraud here. You completely, I mean, in my... look, hot take, but if this was a true story, then you completely victimized this woman.
So... as I say, I was going to give it to charity. That's what I wanted to do, okay? Emily did not want that money to go to charity. No matter what Amber tells you, that is not the case. And you can see it here. Emily says, Rachel, I need to be very clear. I did not consent for my personal experience to be used for profit or public content without fair compensation. You agreed there will be a payment in connection with the video, and I participated in good faith under that understanding. Redirecting that payment elsewhere without my consent does not remove your obligation to compensate me. This video has... So I'll pause there for a second. So she doesn't want the money to go to charity. She wants the money, okay? Which, you know, cool. She's trying to make it sound here like she didn't give consent for the clip, the voice note, sorry, not the clip, the voice note, and her side of the story to be used for content without compensation. That's not true. She gave me full consent to share the voice note prior to the misunderstanding which then followed, where we changed our agreement and I said, oh, it's fine, don't worry, we'll just split this upcoming video. But that upcoming video was already in motion and I already had consent, as I said in my community post. So she's trying to make it sound here like she only let me use the voice note because I agreed to pay her. That is not what happened. She was already letting me use the voice note, and then the agreement was moved to split the money from a finance video, and we said, oh, it's okay, we'll just split this upcoming video instead, which was already existing and I already had consent for that video. She then says this.
Yeah, actually, like, do you actually think that that would work? Like, seriously, does she actually think that that would work? It really doesn't fucking matter. If you entered into an agreement to pay her for any of the videos, that agreement still stands. It doesn't matter whether you had consent to use the content or not. You still agreed to compensate her for the video.
This video has directly led to harassment and harm, including people contacting my family. That's not true. She was being contacted already. She thanked me for the video when I made it. As soon as she realised she's not getting paid, she's mad about it. She says it has not been...
Yeah, because she thanked you because she thought she was going to get paid from it.
beneficial to telling my story, which is not true because I literally played a voice note of her voice. So if that's not sharing her story,
Like, this is wild. This is wild to me. Like, imagine you're telling a fucking DV survivor you're only in it for the money. Oh man, these people are insane to me.
I literally don't know what is. She says, you just acknowledged that used my story, generated AdSense income, and that I've asked for it to be taken down. Continuing to keep it public while refusing payment is both unethical and a misuse of my story. Then I say, I reply shortly, I'm just about to go into blank and can't reply for a few hours. I'm not ignoring you and I will send a reply. If these screenshots get shared by another party and that word is not blanked out, I am going to be absolutely fucking livid, because that covered up word there is a very private, very personal thing that I do in my spare time. And if that gets out because some person doesn't know how to edit a screenshot, I am going to be, or how to respect somebody else's genuinely private matters that have got nothing.
Okay, hold on. Why did you do this? Because now the only thing I can think about is, what is that word? Does anyone have any theories? Has there been any speculation about what that word is? Rules for thee, but not for me. Well, the first letter looks like an H of some sort. And it looks like the last letter might be an S. But that's just a hunch, okay? The first letter is a B. I'm about to go into boobies. I don't fucking know. What? Apparently the whole Reddit threads about the word. I feel like it could be a B, but it could also be an H. Or an L, maybe an I, a capital I. But like, yeah, like now all I can think about is this fucking word. Why would you draw so much attention to this? But the other half of this is like, if anyone's going to leak this, who is going to leak this? I don't know. Maybe the other person in the DMs, Emily. And if she leaks it, like, what the fuck do you fucking care? You fucked her out of what? $2,000? Like, I don't know why on earth, like, if I was Emily, I'd fucking release the hell out of that shit. What are you going into?
Nothing to do with the internet. I will be absolutely livid. And so I just hope that whoever shares these screenshots if they've got, because I know they're out there. If you don't cover up.
Look, all I can say is that definitely doesn't start with the D, because if you notice the line, the tall part of the letter starts on this side, you know, and it's lined up with the I up here. So it's definitely a B or an H.
That word, you're just a fucking loser.
Or an I
Emily
or an
says,
L.
I'll be waiting for your response. And then I come out.
It's beavers. It's beavers. I'm about to go into beavers and can't reply. Wait, what is beavers? What do you mean I can't see? They drew over it. Does she work at Beavers? Like the what? Like Cubs? Like Girl Scouts? Wait, what? Honestly, I kind of figured Beavers was going to be some lesbian bar. Okay, so you're saying this is like the Beavers? Okay, so what you're telling me is that she is the lesbian scout leader for the Beaver Scouts. Oh man, only in Gorlworld, right? Like these jokes just can't just write themselves. That's what I heard. I mean, that's nice, I guess. I don't know. I mean, honestly, do I think that it's a great idea that the camp counselor over here is making a hate channel dedicated to Amberlynn Reed? No, not really. Because then I would start to question how you handle the little beavers.
And I say this. Hi, Emily. I've genuinely been considering your request, which is true. However, I believe taking down this video will open you up to further unwanted discussion and speculation, which it did. As soon as I privated that video, she got so much...
Does England even have beavers? This can't be real. Beavers, gentlemen. That's what I'm thinking. This can't be a real thing.
Shit, and so did I. Everybody was like,
it's
why are you making her take this video down?
She was British.
You already gave consent.
Is she in Canada?
That's what I was trying to avoid when I said, let's just leave it now, let's not private the video. But she wanted it privated. I say, I think it would be best for this money to go to DV victims who will benefit from it. If you still have concerns about the video being public, I'm sure YouTube has a process you can
But you know what? You gave it to Beck instead.
Follow. Rest assured, the aforementioned donation will still be made. So that's me basically saying to her, if you want the video down, you can privacy strike it. She then says, Rachel, I need to be very clear about how wrong this is. I shared my...
Oh my God. You were literally complaining that the first video got privacy striked. And that you were fighting with YouTube to get the video put back up. And now you are showing us evidence that you're saying, okay, just go ahead and privacy strike it, bitch. If you want it down so bad, privacy strike it. Yet you started this video complaining about getting privacy struck and how you're fucking fighting it. Give me a break. No, Canadian strip club, the Canadian beaver, it's our animal. Oh, I know the Canadian... I don't know what's real anymore.
Personal story and details with you under the agreement that I would be compensated. So that is not true. I was sent her story, the screenshots, the voice note, ages and ages before.
Oh, you still agreed to compensate her. It doesn't fucking matter.
Before any mention of money was ever made. So that is not true. Then she says, That was part of the...
just such a crock of shit excuse. It doesn't matter if you had the story and agreed to make the video before. You made an agreement to give her half the profit from the video. It doesn't matter whether it was before or after the video was made or before or after the tea was there. You still agreed to do this. You have... God damn it.
The understanding from the start, again, not true. You assured me multiple times that I would be. I also made it clear that without that agreement, it would not be worth it for me to share something so personal and painful. That's just completely not true. You went forward, used my story publicly, then decided after the video was posted to take that agreement back. That is not acceptable. You shared private information about me under a false sense of trust and benefit. This is not about speculation or donations. It's about ethics and respect. You profited from my vulnerability and are now trying to frame it as something else. I'm asking you to take accountability and make this right. Her trying to say that this whole thing was me profiting from her vulnerability, I think is kind of wild because she's the one who wanted all of this stuff out there. That's why people speak to reaction channels, right? They want to get things out. So saying I profited...
Is this not the same fucking retard that told us fucking 20 minutes ago that there's shit in the Discord that hasn't been released, that there's shit in her fucking thick-ass skull that hasn't been released, and she has the nerve to sit here and say, well, it's not for the money. She even said it was for the money. We make videos for the money. And then she has the nerve to come out here and say, well, it's not for the money. Reaction channels are here because we want information to get out. Good Lord.
From her vulnerability. I don't feel that that is an accurate character.
I mean, they're all the same. They're all identical clones of Amberlynn. It's insane.
Characterization of what happened there. And then we get into the fabulous thinly veiled threats. It's clear you're worried about how this might affect your image and reputation if people found out you paid me, but what would actually look worse than agreeing to pay me and then backing out after the video?
That's not a threat. It's fucking true, you dumbass.
Video was already posted, all while profiting off it yourself. It doesn't really matter which one looks worse. Paying her was worse, so I didn't do it. And then she says, I'm not looking to make this public. I've kept everything private and respectful with you, but I trusted you to handle this with honesty and integrity, and you have not. You promised...
Yeah, can I interview, am I allowed to interview Emily about the financial abuse that she has suffered at the hands of this fucking whale?
Compensation for my time and vulnerability. You used my story
Tasha?
publicly. You can still make this right quietly and respectfully. So that, I feel, is her basically trying to say, I'm not trying to make this public, let's keep it quiet. And I feel that, I felt anyway when I read that message, that was her almost threatening to go public with this. And her saying here, you promised compensation for my time and vulnerability. That's not true. I promised compensation for receipts relating to Amber owing Emily money. And then after the fact, I changed my mind and agreed that instead of splitting
after you got all the goddamn information
money on that video, we could just split the money on the upcoming video, which, as I've said, was already in motion, already planned, already scripted. So it's absolutely not true that I promised compensation for time and vulnerability. That's not what happened. I don't feel that's what happened. I then say, thank you so much for your response. I'd like to note that I disagree with your characterization of the timing and nature of...
I gotta be honest with you, I don't care. I lost my PayPal. I got fucking blocked from PayPal, and I'm upset about that, okay? So I don't care if you're upset with me. You can be upset with me all the fuck you want. I'm upset with all of you.
The agreement, that's what I'm talking about when I say that. Nevertheless, I appreciate you giving me an understanding of your viewpoint on the above message. I then say, please grant me a period of time to think about this situation and decide which action is most suitable. As I've stated, my fear is that your motivations for getting me to make that video were to express a power play over Amberlynn, with whom I believe you're still in regular contact, which they absolutely were.
You should have thought about that before you got into her DMs and started saying, feed me Twinkies, baby.
Still in contact, and I say, I'm not comfortable being a pawn in the mind games between the pair of you, nor am I comfortable financially compensating you for the same. I would be far more comfortable donating this money to a good cause. I see that this option is not acceptable to you, which was me trying to dig her out and be like, girl, just let the money go to charity, but she was not okay with that. I then explain, monies accrued in October 2025 are paid by YouTube in November, so there is no rush for a decision. Thank you for your patience.
Tasha, I wasn't talking to you. I'm talking to this fat one. Okay. I don't have time to address all of that again. I did address some of it at the beginning of the stream. But I'm in the middle of something. Yes, she's still fucking talking. Thank you. I'm just now realizing she fucking started this message with, thank you so much for your response. Shut fuck off, man.
I'll be back in contact in due course. So it's me basically saying, just fucking let us give the money to charity, but in the meantime, there's no rush anyway, so let's just leave it at that. So I wanted to give the money to charity. That was what I was trying to do, and I was saying, either way, there's no rush for a decision because the money doesn't get paid until November anyway. And then she says, I don't agree with that. What exactly do you mean by characterization of the timing and nature of the agreement? I've already told you guys what I meant by that. The agreement was made before the video was uploaded, and you confirmed that more than once. The video would not have gone live without that understanding. Now that, it could be that it's true because I already had the video planned and scripted, and she then basically asked me if we could just split this video instead of the finance video, as I keep fucking saying, and I said yes. It's possible if I said no, I'm not splitting the money on this video, you need to wait for the finance video, she may have said, oh, don't post that video then, but I highly doubt it because she wanted her side of the story out and she thanked me after the fact, and that's why I thought she was talking to me in the first place. Obviously you can.
Okay, so who cares? You didn't pay her for any video at all. That's what ends up happening at the end of the day. Who cares which video it was for? Like, why are you giving us all this stupid-ass information that nobody fucking asked for?
See from these conversations, it was never about that. It was about a power play. She says, bringing up your own assumptions about.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is, like, I have a bad feeling she did plan and script this video. It feels like it's planned and scripted, but in the worst way fucking possible.
My motivations or other people is irrelevant and dismissive. You're basing this off of rumours and no credible sources. That's not true. I knew for a fact that she and Amber were speaking. And then she says, you do not need more time to think about what is right. You made an agreement and you have an obligation to honour it. I expect payment as promised or confirmation that the video will be removed, changing the...
I mean, not to mention, this would have just been more content for you anyway, is like, Tommy tells her DV story, and now she's already back with Amber Lynn. I don't get the motivation of not just, like, you agreed to pay, just fucking pay.
Terms after profiting.
Yeah, why do we need editing, Rachel?
From my story, it's not a misunderstanding. It's unethical.
Good point. Maybe
I've
she
kept
is
this private
riffing.
out of respect for you, but continuing to...
Why do we need any Rachel? Why do we need Rachel at all? That's the real fucking question here. Why do we need Gorlworld at all? Maybe you could all just learn to be decent human beings.
Deny what was agreed only damages your own credibility. So that is her saying and making it very clear she wants money or she wants the video taken down. And she's basically saying she's keeping this private, and she's saying to me, do one of my two options and I will continue to keep this private. And she gave those two options. There was absolutely no way that I was going to pay her, so I therefore took the video down, and you can see this is what I send. So I privated the video, screenshotted that, circled the private logo and wrote, you're mischaracterizing the agreement to try and make me look worse than I am. We both know you had given consent for that voice note to be shared before any money was confirmed. At the time, I thought I was agreeing to split money on a finance video with you to help you recuperate lost money from Amber never paying you back, which is the reason that I gave her. But actually, it's because I wanted the fucking tea on...
Is she actually back with Amber Lynn? I don't care, but I feel like it's germane to this ordeal. I guess she is. I don't know if they're currently together because as far as I can tell with Amber Lynn and Tommy, it's like back and forth, back and forth. It's possible they're together now. It's possible they're not together now, but she's saying that she knows for a fact that at this point they were back together. And again, that's fine, but like your agreement had nothing to do with whether or not they were back together. It's germane to the conversation, I guess, but it's not germane to the agreement that they, like, did she have an agreement saying, I'm only giving you this money if you never go back to Amber Lynn? Then she might feel like she won. Like, this is disgustingly manipulative behavior from every fucking angle. Like, it's exploiting Tommy for this DV story. It's exploiting Amber when you don't know if the DV story is real or not. It's exploitative to both of them when you think that you're the one that's in control over whether they get back together or not. You know, and we'll talk about this some more in another stream. But, like, one of the things that it came down to with Carly is, like, I can't control her. If I could, she wouldn't be with Freddie right now. But I can't fucking control her. She is an adult. She makes her own fucking decisions. And that's that. Like, it is not my responsibility to go coach her or to help her with her content or to do anything. The only responsibility I take on there is to keep an eye on her channel and make sure nobody's fucking with her. And if somebody's fucking with her, I'll go fuck with them. But, like, I have no obligation to, like, be involved in her day-to-day life. I can give my opinions, but at the end of the day, it's up to everybody to be adults and make their own fucking decisions. And no, you're not going to go coach her, Ballpark Franks. Like, leave Carly alone. She is there. Let her make her content. And if it succeeds, it succeeds. But in no way should any of you be getting involved. And that bitch Sue Hamlin needs to stay out of her goddamn comments. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, you old bitch, then fucking log off.
Amber being a scumbag when it comes to money, and I say it then became clear that there was a misunderstanding, at which point I changed my mind and agreed to split this video. And if Emily wants to go there, I've got proof of all of that, but I'm not going to put myself on.
Ballpark Franks, thank you for the $1.49 super chat. I appreciate it.
Blast for no reason, but I can prove that if I need to. And then I say, but the consent for the voice note had already been given. Let's leave this here now. The money will still be donated to a domestic violence charity. I then blocked her, and that is the last thing I have ever said to her. So there it is. That's what was said between she and I. If you are angry with me for the things I've said, I understand. That's what happened. That's what I said. It was very clear to me.
Like, that's the thing. I'm sorry. I understand why everybody decided, oh no, give the money to Beck because you're all sick fucks. That's why. Because you're all sick fuckers. That's why. But, like, you made an agreement to give the fucking fat feeder money. You should have given her. I hope she sues the fuck out of you. I really do.
Wanted the money. She did not want the money to go to charity.
I hope she sues the goddamn bejesus out of you, because this is absolutely fucking insane that you fucking milked her for a fucking DV story and then you have the nerve to not fucking pay her. Give me a fucking break.
It's very clear from those screenshots that that is how she felt at that time. I know that these screenshots are going to be discussed and picked apart by people. That's completely fine.
Like, that's the thing. At least Will wasn't actually asking for money. He didn't initially ask for any money when he did those fucking interviews. This one, you literally agreed to pay the fucking money.
But that's what happened, right? That's my point of view, the context, as the person who was in the conversation and said the things. That's what I was thinking when I said them. Other people are obviously going to give their opinion on it because that's what we do in Gorlworld, right? And that's completely fine. But that is what was said and why I said it and what happened. And there you go. It's pretty clear that somebody...
You know what? Fucking... Emily, go sue the bejesus out of this bitch and take Amber Lynn to a Chinese buffet. Right now.
Who was in that initial Discord basically was mad at me because I said that I didn't like other content creators or I thought their content wasn't very good. And, you know, we're all allowed opinions, right? That's what the internet's here for. If I think somebody's content is mid and I say it, that's what I said. That's my opinion. And there you go. I'm not going to backtrack on my opinion just because you guys have all seen me say it, right? I think that this has shown that certain people take Gorlworld very, very, very personally. To me, that's not what this is. This isn't
Shut up. This isn't personal to me. It's all about money.
personal, you know.
I will say anything about Amber Lynn just to make some goddamn coin.
I'm reporting and talking and covering on what's going on. This is something I do that makes me money, and also it's something I find very interesting. If someone doesn't like my content, that's completely fine. We're all allowed to have opinions, right? I don't think we need to be attacking other creators and sharing the faces, names and voices of private individuals during that process. But if that's what you want to do, you do you. I personally think it's a little bit strange, and I've seen the people in this creator's Discord, they're all circle jerking and laughing and talking with each other, and it's hilarious because they don't even know how to read a date, and they're all excited, and there's loads of like moral grandstanding going on.
Aww, are you being bullied by your hero Charlie Gold? Aww.
And they're all really excited and happy and talking with their Discord buddies about the tea that they've gotten about me, when in fact they didn't actually get very much tea at all. And I just think that's kind of funny. The final thing I'm going to do is talk a little bit now about just my channel, my content, talk to
Yeah, Will actually completely refused to give us Cash App at first. Like, he initially didn't really give a shit about, like, making money off the thing. He just wanted to say his shit and fucking go. And then people kept pushing him to, like, take money, which I thought was a bad idea in the first place anyway. But, and, like, look, I'm glad he got money off of it. It's just my own personal opinion that I just wouldn't even get involved. Ballpark Franks, by the way, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is like, they had a very clear agreement, even based on everything that she said herself. They had a very clear agreement that she was going to split the video, the AdSense for some video. Whatever video it was, it doesn't fucking matter. If you walked out of this having flirted with and then milked her for a DV story, and you agreed to pay her, you look like a piece of shit to me for not paying her. I don't give two fucks about giving the money to fucking Beck. I don't think Beck needs any more fucking money. But that's a whole other fucking discussion. The fact is, you should have paid her for this fucking goddamn disgusting mess you oh my god. But nobody around here is gonna really talk about this one, are we? Like, none of the usual suspects around here are really gonna talk about this exploitation, right?
you guys as my viewers. So when this channel started, I started talking about Gorlworld, I started getting views, and I didn't know what the fuck to do. Like, I was literally like, this is crazy, people are watching me, I'm being paid for this, and I had no idea how to handle it, and that is just the complete truth. I was trying to be myself, but I was also very scared. I was like, I don't want people to dislike me, I don't want people to hate me, and I cared a lot what people thought about me, I absolutely did, and I was trying to be
I'm sorry, you're saying this in the past tense as if it's not true right this fucking moment? That you're not doing this entire video and all the bullshit looping and all the bullshit excuses? You don't think you're still engaging in the exact same please everybody behavior right now? That's the whole reason you gave the money to Beck, was to try to kiss everybody's ass. Oh, I'm so sorry I agreed to pay her, but don't worry, I gave the money to Beck. That'll really show Amberlynn. Ha 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 ha. And yet nobody's eating your shit this time. Good.
Be myself and be real, because I'm a very direct person. I say what I think, I'm comfortable making people feel uncomfortable if necessary. I'm not shy. If I say something, I generally stand by it.
I'm comfortable making people feel uncomfortable if necessary. Do people regularly come up to you and say, hey, could you just make me feel uncomfortable for a while?
If I'm wrong, I put my hands up and say, I was wrong about that. You know, I love when people disagree with me. One of the biggest markers of me knowing that somebody is a real friend of mine is that they will say to me, you're wrong about that. And I'll be like, oh, geez, am I? And that's one thing about my degree is when you study philosophy, you realise that if you live in an echo chamber where you don't take in any new information, you're never willing to consider changing your mind because you don't get any new information, right? That's one thing that I don't do as a person. I genuinely don't. If you want to give me information, I will listen, because I think the more I get, I can then weigh it up and decide what to do with it. And sure, some of my weighing up in this situation might have been a little bit skewed, but at all points during this process...
So do you see why, for those of you that have been around for a while, like, do you see the comparisons with the young dumb honey bun bullshit? Like, my skin is great, I smell like coconut oil.
I was trying to do my best. I genuinely was. And I was trying to do it whilst also put myself publicly on a big public platform where thousands of people were watching me for the first time ever. And I fumbled it. I fumbled a lot of things in this situation. And one thing I really want to say to you guys, my viewers, people who are bothering to watch this video, you've watched the whole way through, you're at 1 hour 20 something now, maybe probably cut a lot out, but you're watching me, right? And this is who I am. I just want to say to you guys, I've tried my best to handle this channel the best way I could, but I have absolutely made so many mistakes and I've learned from them. And I'm not going to be like scared off the internet. I'm not going to stop making content. I'm not going to stop covering the girls. So I'm not going to stop. Just
we really did want you to stop, I'm being honest, because this has been probably the most painful 45 minutes of my life.
Because I fucked up. But I'm absolutely going to say, I fucked up, here's what happened. And if you guys go through this situation, you see everything I've said in this video and whatever else, you know, you weigh up what I've shown you, what you've seen, what I've done,
you're
and
a
all
scammer.
of that. If you come to the conclusion...
You are 110% a scammer. You scammed somebody for a domestic violence story that you didn't even know if it was true or not. Lawsuit.
Conclusion then that you don't think
Guilty.
My coverage of Gorlworld is valuable to you, or you don't like it, you just don't like me, you don't want to watch it, whatever, that's genuinely completely fine. My goal now is just to be like, this is what I think, here we are. And if you don't like it and you don't agree, let me know in the comments, by all means, and we can talk about it. But the one thing I will say, and what I will add, is I chose this life, right? I chose to insert myself into Gorlworld. I purposefully inserted.
Okay. Because we're going to talk about this in just a moment when this bullshit ends. You chose to insert yourself into Gorlworld is not the same as choosing to insert yourself into the DMs of a girl's ex. Like, it boggles my fucking mind that around here so many people are like, I just couldn't help myself. I just had to send nudes to Cyrax. I just had to send nudes to Nader. I just had to fucking flirt with Tommy. Like, and nobody can fucking control themselves around here. And it's like, well, I'm here at Gorlworld. This is what we do around here. Like, how about you stop fucking trying to put yourselves in this fucking bubble of what you think you're supposed to be doing around here and maybe go fucking touch some grass.
Myself into this community, and Gorlworld gets a bad reputation on the internet. People who don't cover it make one video about Gorlworld and their
why do you think it gets a bad reputation?
Comments are full of people being like, oh my god, don't do it, you know, don't get into it, it's a total mess. I don't agree. I like Gorlworld. I enjoy the debate and the discussion, and I know that people in this community, the way this community works is people talk about each other. That's what we do. That's how Gorlworld works. So I made this YouTube channel with my full government face, you know, my name, my face here I am giving my opinion. I chose this, right? I'm fine with people talking about whatever they want because that's what Gorlworld is. If I didn't want to do it and I didn't want to be a part of it and I didn't want people talking about my face, my name, whatever, if I didn't want people talking about me and my takes and what I've done or whatever in their own communities,
well, don't worry, I'll give you what you want here because it's fucking wild.
then I could just stop making videos. So I'm never going to be angry and butthurt at people, at you, for talking about me in your communities because that's what I do. I talk about people in my community, right? And I'm comfortable and fine with that discourse because that's what Gorlworld is. And that's why I've made this.
Okay, your stupid hand tattoos are really distracting. Can you please end this video? Pizza marinara.
Video because I actually think the best way to handle this situation is just be like, there you go. That's what happened. And then you can go talk about it if you indeed want to. I'm going to continue trying my absolute best to apply everything that I've learned from this situation to the future.
Tasha, I didn't say it had anything to do with you. I just feel that it's kind of fucked that I lost my PayPal over this fucking bullshit. Okay? And as far as you saying that it didn't have anything to do with you. Not everything's about you, Tasha. That's my point.
Future, and we'll just have to see what happens, right? But I'm not going to stop making my content, and we'll just have to see how you guys take it. So I think some more stuff is probably going to come out. I don't know who's going to release what. I don't know who's going to say what, but we'll just have to see. But what I am probably going to do is watch Amber's live stream with you guys because I know she says a lot of stuff about me, and I think it might be quite funny for us to cover that. So that's what we're going to do next. Thank you all for listening to what I have to say, and yeah, we'll see what happens now. No idea how it's going to go down, but we'll see. I think I'll leave it there. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Let me ask you. Let me try asking you this way, Tasha, since you're just insistent on derailing me tonight. If I start going IRL on everybody, are you gonna call me out for it? Or you're just not gonna say anything about it? I'm just curious. Would you call me out for it if I start going IRL, calling the police on people, calling everybody a No, you're not gonna say anything? Okay, thank you. That's good to know. All right, moving on. So guess who decided to have a rational take for, he likes to do this from time to time. Can anyone guess? Can anyone guess who had a real rational take on this? Well, it was none other than Zachary Michael. But I want you to hear how he does this, okay? Because I find it incredibly fascinating how Zachary Michael kind of misses the point. Like it's like he's so close. He's so close to getting it. He's very close. We might be able to save this one.
So I guess I'm fine. I'll just wipe my tears with banknotes. She spends a lot of time in her response video making sure people know that it's not about Beck, and I don't care if it was about Beck or not. Like sitting here and saying that people's concerns, legitimate concerns over you doing this weird shit, will be taken care of by wiping your tears with your banknotes. That's wild. That's wild.
Yes, but it's better if Beck wipes them, right?
And cocky, and really clearly shows what the real purpose behind all of this was, which was to make money. And on that note, I do want to say throughout the video, she mentions multiple times that she's trying to make money, just like all creators who are in this space are trying to do. I don't disagree with that, right? Like, I have made lots.
Vaughn Beardo, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Lots of money from posting videos on YouTube. I have a life that I never dreamed of because of my YouTube channel. I'm forever very grateful for everything that YouTube has afforded me, for everything that making content about Amberlynn has afforded me. I get it. I 100% understand that, we're not all just here doing this.
Capitalist Michael over here. Great job.
It's for fun. Like, this is also my full-time job. But I do think that's a tough line that people who make content like us have to toe. Like, we have to figure out what...
No, Tasha, I'm trying to distract myself at the moment.
The appropriate balance is and where our own personal morals and ethics lie when it comes to doing this. I think that's why people struggle with me when they say they feel like I stand on a moral high ground and things like that. It's because I have personal values and feelings about doing content like this that I'm not willing to cross or that I don't want to cross. And sometimes that doesn't align with what other people on the internet think I should do.
Right. And I think that it's very fascinating to see how your viewers constantly egg you on to like do things like going IRL with Amber Lynn. But like, here's the thing about it. Like, I will at least give him credit that he's willing to have some boundaries on this. But let's keep watching.
And at a minimum, I think all creators in this corner of the internet, or really even sometimes creators who just make content that's like commentary on drama and gossip and things like that, I think a lot of us do face criticism for making money off of this type of content, off of talking about people. There isn't really a value seen in gossiping about people on the internet. So I think there are plenty of people who even have an issue with us making money just for those purposes alone.
That would be me. That would be me. I have a problem with it. Because here's the thing about this, is that it is almost an inevitability that if you are going to hyperfixate on one person, then make a profit motive out of it, you are also going to incentivize that ecosystem to grow so that you can continue to make more money out of it. Okay? And when you say, well, I have boundaries, there's always going to be, what was that from Showgirls? There's always some girl running up the stairs after you. There's always going to be the next person who's going to one-up you and say, I don't give a fuck about your boundaries. That's why I'm saying this is an inevitable pipeline from criticism to actual harassment. Now, I want you to think about it, especially if you've been around Gorlworld for a long time. Who was the big reactor back in the day? Let's say 2020. Who was the big reactor back then? For Amberlyn and Foodie. It was Charlie Gold. Okay? Why was it Charlie Gold? Because you would have people like Zachary Michael out here being kind of lighthearted about it. You had people like Michael B. Petty, although just not that long, but you had Michael B. Petty being pretty fucking snarky. But then you had that, but then you also had Charlie Gold out here saying that Chantal's pig mad and the cheese curds are traveling from her vagina to her brain. And so it was that extra rhetoric, that extra anger that she was putting into her videos. That's what made her accelerate beyond Zachary Michael and Michael B. Petty. Okay? Now, let's fast forward to today. Who's the number one Foodie Beauty reactor? The number one Foodie Beauty reactor right now. It's sorry, it's FFG. It's easily FFG. Why is it FFG? Because she takes it yet another step farther. She takes it another step farther than Charlie Gold even could. She's going to I'm sorry, I'm having a bit of a brain fart. She's over here stealing Chantal's friend, stealing Chantal's cat, going to the marijuana dispensary with a picture of Foodie Beauty saying, have you seen this woman? Traveling 2 hours to pick up fucking, what was it, Christmas dinner? I mean, again, you have going to what was the other, the fatty fashion show shit. Like, FFG takes it to another step. And at some point, you're going to have somebody else come in and do the same thing, like a Music Biz Marty, who's going to take it to another step further and going to get more attention. Because again, this is how this entire ecosystem works. So how do you stop this ecosystem from forming in the first place? You tell people like fucking Zachary Michael, maybe you shouldn't dedicate your entire content to one person. Maybe you should get a hobby outside of Amberlynn Reid every so often. Maybe you should explore other sectors of the internet so that you can find other stories to tell, other things that are going on. There are plenty of interesting things happening on the internet that don't have anything to do with Amberlynn Reid. Oh, but it wouldn't get you the views that you want. But the reality is you can have your boundaries all you want here. At the end of the day, this is an inevitable pipeline where you foment the anger against someone and then you keep that going until it turns into pure hatred and then finally harassment.
And for me, that's why it's always been important to see this distinction of like these people as people and these people as people who are doing things on the internet in the form of like reality TV.
I mean, you really want me to believe Zachary Michael sees people as people? People on the internet as people. I don't think I don't even think he sees regular people as people.
I give my thoughts on what we all watch together collectively. I don't touch the poop, and we all keep it moving. And to that extent, I do understand why there's been criticism in the past when Amberlynn's been in my DMs. I think I really struggled with how to deal with that for a long time, and I tried my best to be as transparent as possible every time she snuck into my DMs to try to say something to me. So I get it. There's varying degrees of what.
Oh, shut up. You wanted to be in DMs with her. You wanted to be besties with her and play fucking Fortnite with her. Just, here's an idea. You could give up reacting to her and go be besties with her. Why not?
People think is.
We know it's what you really want.
Acceptable versus not acceptable when it comes to all kinds of things about the content in Gorlworld. But when you're out here claiming that you're sharing stories about domestic violence to help Amberlynn's other victims, but you're also secretly paying people for tea and flirting with death feeders to make money, there's definitely been a line that's been crossed, in my opinion. And that is what's kind of...
I mean, I agree, but also she scammed Emily. So please keep that in mind, Zachary Michael, that even though you think she's a death feeder, she scammed a death feeder.
Kind of wild about the Gorlworld corner of the internet to me is that, to me, that seems so clear when it comes to my personal values of like a line that's been overstepped. And yet
yeah, right. Of course, he's the victim for having to talk about Amber DMing him. You know, it wasn't possible that he could just like block her and like just ignore all of it.
I'm sure there are people out there who are even going to comment on this video and say that they don't feel like any lines have been crossed. There's also going to be people that say things like, well, you're in a community that just makes fun of fat, obese women. How do you have a moral...
Yeah, how do you have a moral high ground, you fat ass?
High ground to stand on. Like, it's wild, right? Like, it's insane.
Let me ask you something, Zachary Michelle. I want you to look at your t-shirt and ask yourself, would Reba do this? Would Reba start an Amberlynn Reid reaction channel? Or does Reba have a little more class than that?
the spectrum of takes on this one thing that to me personally feels so clear. Like, Rachel's absolutely in the wrong for every single part of this, every single decision she made in terms of interacting with Tommy. And for me, that's been a really challenging part of covering Amberlynn on the internet, and at least one part of the many reasons why I haven't covered Amberlynn in a long time. And it's because I'm not trying to appeal to
You're not covering Amberlynn because she bullied you. Shut up.
an audience that wants me to cross that line, but it certainly feels like that's a direction that Gorlworld has been going over time. And while I don't think most people in the community are like this, I think there's a very loud minority who are asking for stuff like this to happen. A large part of the reason
I wonder why. Is it because a bunch of people fomented the hate against her in the first place?
I wanted to cover this is because I get asked all the time why I stopped covering Amberlynn. And like I said, there's so many reasons for that, and largely I've made a number of videos that the reason was because of my mental health, which is absolutely the case. I was not doing well. I've been doing a lot better with therapy. I started Prozac. There's a lot of things going on that help me work and function much better as a person.
See, now you're making me want to go back to your Twitch channel and see if you're still trauma dumping to the chat. I bet you are.
But a large part that's maybe taken me a little bit longer to figure out how to articulate, to be quite honest, is just that it's hard. It's hard to want to stay in an environment where people want this kind of content. Which, like, to be fair, I think a lot of people are frustrated with Rachel. I think a lot of people aren't okay with Rachel doing all of this. But it's something that feels like it's been bubbling up and getting bigger and bigger and bigger over the time. It's not just Rachel. I've talked.
What do you mean? Your buddy Jordy said it was just fine for her to do this, and Hecticana was in the chat, in the Discord chat, saying, "Oh no, it's all right."
Talked at length in the past about how weird it is that French Fry Girl involves herself in Chantal's personal life, befriends her real life best friend,
Ooh.
goes to a dispensary that she thinks that Chantal might have been shopping at, going to this fashion show, plotting to get BBJ, like so many things of crossing very personal lines when we could all just sit here and watch the show at home. And I think
Boom. Are you not understanding the monster you've created, Zachary Michael? Do you not understand what you've created here? You know, dare I say, if I remember correctly, Chantal was not making those jokes against you. She simply liked an account that made jokes about you, that made very offensive jokes about you. I don't remember her making those comments herself. I could be remembering this wrong. But I mean, was it worth it? Was it worth it? Like, for French Fried Girl to come in here and muck around and do all the shit that she did? I mean, really? Like, you guys could have backed off like fucking 4 years ago and realized, hey, we're all a bunch of adults bullying a fat woman.
I think I've also spoken about how I felt Jordy has taken things too far sometimes, and I think that largely like a good...
Oh, but you're going to show... You know, this is the thing. If you actually have a problem with this, Zachary Michael, maybe stop supporting people like Jordy when you're seeing that they're going too far. Maybe simply say, I don't want to be a part of this. I'll find somebody else to watch.
Example of that is when he read out Mama Lynn's police records. Like, I remember being very vocal.
You assholes read out her mother's police records?
That felt uncomfortable and felt unnecessary, especially because it seemed like Mama Lynn had spent her time in jail and a lot of time trying to become sober and working on herself to get herself out.
But you're going to be in the next Jordy stream, aren't you?
Out of the position she once was, which is, in my opinion, all...
He literally says earlier in this video that he was, like, catching up on some of this through Jordy. And now he's over here like, yeah, and he read her police reports. Excuse me. he read her police reports, blah, blah, blah. But, like, we all know that you're just saying this and that it's, maybe you're getting it off of your chest, but, like, you're not going to change your behavior in any way at the end of the day. I mean, at least he's not actively reacting to Amber Lynn, but I feel like he's really wanting to.
We can ask of people who have gone through the criminal justice system. A system, by the way, which is not set up to actually help those people rehabilitate their lives. And those are just examples from larger creators. It doesn't even account for smaller creators or people who aren't even creators at all and just are posting tea about Amber Lynn. Like, I think about all of the times that I've had to put out disclaimers that I think it's weird and unnecessary for people to be taking pictures of Amber Lynn in public without her knowledge. Like, I think about the person who posted the security footage from the store they worked at of Amber Lynn walking through
the TJ Maxx footage. That I talk about that so much because I just think it's so fucking far.
The front doors.
Like, why would you even risk your fucking job just to get a fucking video of her walking out of a store?
Or the person who took pictures and video of her at that laundromat. It's just like a lot of absurd invasions of personal privacy that I know for a fact.
Jordy is so funny and cute. Jordy looks like a weasel and you know it. He's got the face of a weasel.
I wouldn't like to happen to me. And while some of these people are awful and vile, I think it's a slippery slope when we start excusing behavior like that just because we don't like Amber Lynn or because we don't like Chantal, because plenty of people don't like me, right? Like, plenty of people on the internet don't like Zachary Marie.
Yep, me.
Plenty of the people on the internet don't like whoever your particular favorite reaction channel is, content creator is, and you would probably be upset if that shit happened to them. And I get it. Amber Lynn's a public figure, Chantal's a public figure, Rachel's a public figure, I'm a public figure. But at some point I wonder, like, what the line is here. Like, what truly awful thing is going to happen for people to say enough is enough? I think I've rambled.
What truly awful thing has to happen for people to say enough is enough? Like, you know, again, this would be a lot less hypocritical if you hadn't just been making rosy videos just to kill time while you decide how you're going to react to Amber Lynn again. But, you know, you're, again... When is enough, Zachary Michael? When are you gonna stop this shit? I thought about it. Maybe I did a reaction to this and I don't remember. But he made this terrible fucking video on, what was it? Overconsumption. He was trying to make those overconsumption videos, and goddamn, they were fucking awful. But, like, at least he was doing something that wasn't just, like, being annoying and making fun of somebody else that isn't in his position, you know? I mean, it's really fucking weird. Through the power of process.
Far too long, probably, at this point.
No. Poe is the one that's on process.
And I really do know that I am putting myself out there to face a lot of accusations of feeling holier than thou and standing on a moral high ground. I mean, even Rachel referenced people in a Discord standing on their own moral high ground. But I guess to wrap up, I do just want to say that it hasn't always been like this. Myself and Michael B. Petty were among the first people in Gorlworld to start making content almost exclusively about Amber Lynn and Chantal. Back then, they referred to us as Hater Nation. Gorlworld wasn't even a concept. And it's funny to me because some of the biggest scandals back in the day were like people being mad that Michael and I organized the AmberCon thing where 5 of us got onto a live stream panel and talked about Amber Lynn. Like that.
Okay, I don't know that was so much problematic as much as it was cringe, but does it not occur to you that maybe that was like foreshadowing for you? Does that not occur to you that maybe people were trying to warn you that this could get out of hand? Like it's just wild how, like I said, he's so close. He's so close to understanding this concept, but he's just so far away from it because he's not going to be willing to admit that you want to sit here and complain about French Fried Girl. Look in the mirror, because you all started this shit in the first place.
That shit happens all the time these days. And I think there's probably fair criticism.
The biggest scandals were Shrimpgate.
Along the way to say like, wow, you really built your like content empire on Amberlynn and you did this, you did that, whoever, whatever. But none of us were paying anybody for receipts. None of us were flirting with side characters. Like, it just wasn't that.
I agree. And congratulations, Zachary Michael. Good job for not being a piece of shit. You want a fucking cookie or something? Like, I mean, at the end of the fucking day, this is what I'm saying. It is an inevitable pipeline that somebody is going to come in and one-up you. That's how this whole fucking thing works.
That serious. We like to tune in and see what these silly internet characters were doing and hee and ha-haing about it. And certainly, like, I think especially for both Chantal and Amberlynn, they've involved themselves in things that are much more serious and are much more serious than, like, maybe the hee ha-has when I first started making content about them. But I just need to reiterate that they show themselves that way. And if their exes want to come out and speak about them, and a lot of them have, like, I think that is their right to tell their own story in their own way.
See, you're gonna have to pick a lane. If they're such evil, vindictive pieces of shit, shouldn't you be willing to do anything, including paying people to give you bad fucking information? Shouldn't you be willing to do anything to stop them? Or maybe they weren't as bad as you portrayed them in the first place, which incentivized other people to continue to make even more extreme content on them. Yeah, Zachary Michael was an Am baby originally. It's true. It is true. He always wanted to be her bestie. Yes. That's what I'm saying, is it's just like he was always, and that was how they always tried to approach this back in the day, was like, no. Like, yes, we're being snarky, but we're fans. We're fans of the content. We love this shit, you know? But at the end of the day, they were intentionally being rude. They were intentionally egging it on, making every little microaggression into the biggest macro problem they could. And they fomented the exact hatred that you see towards these two women. And now they want to be like, guys, you're going way too far. I know I said she was a racist, but come on.
We don't have to go about manipulating people by promising them money and not giving it to them. We don't have to sit here and flirt because everybody flirts to get ahead in their career. You don't have to do that. And I think over 8 years of my content on the internet really shows that. I don't know. This is just how I've kind of been feeling about Gorlworld for a long time. It's kind of why, in particular, covering Amber has been a lot, because I think, like, there's a loud minority, like I said, of people who really feel like Amberlynn just deserves a lot of really weird behavior, and it's just not a game I want to play. Anyways, that's all I have time for today, so let me know what your thoughts are about this down below. And if you're brand new to my channel, consider subscribing, hit the bell button so you get a notification on every single video I post. Make sure to leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media. Have a good day. Bye.
So yeah, like I said, maybe he's getting closer. Maybe he's getting closer to realizing the truth And maybe he's waking up a little bit. Maybe. I mean, I have very little hope for him, but, you know, maybe. Who knows? Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I really appreciate you guys who tuned in, except for Tasha. Fuck you for derailing me. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I appreciate everybody who's super chat and everything. Yeah, I don't know. I'm, like I said, I'm internally freaking out a little bit, and I appreciate the support. Let's see, who can I raid? Watching the worst, hold on. Kamal. Oh, you know what? I have to play a song for you all. For those of you that guys that don't know what's going on, and actually maybe I should segue for just a second. For those of you guys that don't totally know what's going on, like I said, there's been this whole thing with Hecate being like looped about the whole interview thing. Without going too much into it, I'm just gonna tell you to go watch Val 420. Because she has been posting about this. And so we did some streams. So there's Gas or Egg and Dead Names and Dead Channels. So I'm gonna link her stream here. Make sure you go subscribe to her. I was actually on these streams, okay? So go subscribe to her. I was literally on these streams. So it's me and her reacting to some of it. Anyway, to keep a long story short, Hecate has this belief somehow that eggs... She watched a video of Hussey talking about eggs and Egg Benedict, and he's talking about a brunch date he had. And basically she starts looking up eggs, LGBT slang, and she goes and looks this shit up, and she sees that that's a word for somebody who's trans and doesn't know it yet. Is there an egg? Salmon apparently means a giant dick. Anyway, she thinks these are all trafficking terms. Long story short, Valkyrie made a song about it, and it's very catchy.
Michelle, or is it Michael, or is it Michelle? No one asks what she prefers. Michelle, did you hear she's missing? Osria said so, and then news of the hotel where Michelle was last seen is swatted. That's kind of saucy. Is it a coincidence? Maybe, or maybe, just maybe. Breakfast with Hussey is cold. Baby, oh baby. He had some eggs and then he cracked the egg. That's crazy. Adding salmon with the eggs. They had eggs Benedict. Did you know that grime song is demonic rock music? This is high control torture. Psycho? Logical kidnapping. Go ahead and look it up. It's a real thing. Snow Queen means coke addict. But I hope you know that Azria thinks it's best to admit your daily blow. Every color is a code in the whole damn pride flag. Clearly you're a human trafficker if you're a fucking weirdo. Bing bong. Weirdo. Bing bong. Weirdo. Bing bong. Don't Michelle, Azria, assures she will find you. And unlike the meatloaf, she won't let that egg bind you. Intersex or transgender doesn't matter to the daughter of Hecate. What Michelle prefers to be called is clearly brainwashing and trafficking in slang. Taco means vagina, I read it on the net. I heard that an orange person turned bi when Mem and Hussy met. Is it a coincidence? Maybe, or maybe, just maybe. Breakfast with Hussy is code, baby, oh baby. He had some eggs and then he cracked the egg. That's crazy. There's oodles of noodles from David to gorillas to pasta too. And if you don't believe me, then clearly the queers have gaslit you too. Demonic rock music. Demonic rock music. Eggs Benedict, crack addict. Breakfast with Hussy is cold. Like an egg, I cracked the code. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong.
Is there anyone out there who still isn't clear about what doing drugs does? Okay, last time. This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
So yeah, I'm probably not explaining the story right at all. We will probably talk about this in a couple of weeks with the whole Michelle thing. But long story short, like basically she thinks they're all trafficking terms. That Hussy is using code words to turn people trans. I don't know. It's absolute insanity from an insane person. That's the best thing I can tell you at the moment, because it's just too much to fucking explain at this point. But yeah, hold on. I wanted to see Kamal. What was he doing? Is he still live? Watching the worst scenes in movie history.
Can we get... Yeah, can we get
I'm gonna
into
raid
this
this
guy
guy.
that are attacking?
I'm gonna raid this guy. He's watching the worst scenes in movie history, okay? Y'all make sure you subscribe, and thank y'all for coming by. I really do appreciate it. Y'all have a good rest of the night. Wait, was there something else I wanted to tell you? No, that was it. Thank you. Bye.